Okay, yeah. I did not mean to jump off. My computer is doing stupid shit. Uh, cause yeah, I definitely didn't mean to jump off. It sent me a notification that Instagram had disconnected, and it was telling me to remove Instagram because I'm multi-streaming, and then it ended the whole live. So hopefully y'all see that I am back. Oh my God. But Marcy, if you see this, please come back, my love. Because yeah, that I channeled um yeah, I didn't mean to my computer started tripping. Thank you, Lemon Pepper Step Up. My computer started tripping because I think going forward, I'm just not going to use Instagram anymore because Instagram always stops your live at 1 hour, and it popped up a notification in the right corner. It said remove Instagram, but it actually ended the whole stream instead of just removing Instagram. So I think going forward, I'm gonna just do Facebook and YouTube. But Marcy, I really hope she comes back because I love my gifts, but they're a gift and a curse. You know, I literally channeled her and I felt Jesus. I mean, I felt all those people and Jesus, 18, my God. You know, you talk about the things you've been through, and then people come and they share their stories, just like with Joy, you know, when I was sharing about me losing my 5 babies to miscarriage from Graves, and then she shared that she lost 8, you know, and then went on to have 4 living children. So Lord God, please bring Marcy back, because yeah, I definitely didn't mean to end the live. My computer, like I said, my computer's been tripping a lot, and I know that we're in retrograde still. Hold on, give me 1 second. Letting her know that the laptop ended the live. So yeah, I think going forward, I'm just not gonna add Instagram anymore because it happens every time I'm on live. Like after an hour, it'll put a big old like a big notification that almost covers the whole screen on my end that y'all can't see, and it'll say it stopped. You know that basically Instagram stopped streaming, and so instead of it just removing Instagram, it just ended the whole live, which I didn't want to happen. So Lord, thank you. I'm so glad. No, no, no. Stay. Please stay. Please. I literally was asking God to bring you back. Right, lemon pepper. Yes, yes. I don't the reason I don't want you to feel bad, Mercy. So I don't know at what point you joined the live, but I'm an empath and I'm a clairvoyant and a psychic medium, and I've been channeling a lot of people's energy. Just like the first time Jag jumped into my life 2 Sundays ago, her son showed up in my room and I channeled him, and he gave me messages to give her. So sometimes it is a lot, but God gave me these gifts for a reason. So please don't feel bad. Yes, we are sending all the prayers to you. I want you to stay. As a matter of fact, I need you to stay. Okay. I really do. Because God brought you here for a reason. It's just that I could feel all 18 people and what they had done to you. And I could feel your pain so deep and so intense that it I channeled you, and I directly felt what you've been carrying all these years. And that's why I was saying what I was saying to you. It's not your fault. None of it. And any guilt that thank you for staying. Any guilt that you feel, That's the trick of the devil in your mind. And that's why I need you to stay. Okay. I know it's late. I usually get on late because a lot of my viewers are night owls, but please, I need you to release that guilt. And I'm going to continue on with the video, but God is telling me to do this. The guilt that I feel you carrying, I wish you were here with me in person, but I'm just going to channel it to you. I need you to repeat after me, Marcy. I release this guilt right now. This is not my burden. This was not my fault. I didn't deserve this. I release it right now and I give it to the Most High. And Lord, I'm asking you for healing, to heal my mind, to heal my body, to heal my spirit, so that I can be an advocate for other young women and men. And Lord God, I bind up that demonic spirit that is keeping her held hostage. You have to go. You no longer have a hold on her, because I come in the name of Yeshua. I come in the name of the Most High God, and all demons have to bow, because even the demons know the name of Christ and have to tremble. You will not inhabit her mind, her body, and her spirit. All 18 demonic spirits that were dumped onto her, I bind you up in the name of the Most High God, and I cast you back to hell. You will not have a hold on her mind anymore. When she leaves this live, she is set free. She's set free right now. But you have no authority, because I have authority over you. Christ went to the gates of hell and took the keys of death and hell. You have no authority over her. You will bow down to the Most High that's within me, because I am the walking, living essence of Christ. I am the manifestation of the Most High God. You will not have her bound anymore. All 18 of you, Legion, you are cast out of her mind, body, and spirit, because that's the energy on you right now, is Legion. That's the energy speaking to your mind, whispering and telling you it was your fault. I cast you back to hell. In the name of the Most High God, you have to flee. And you will not ever rise again. You will not ever cloud her mind with guilt. You will not ever have her bound, because I have bound you up. I have bound you up. You have no authority. You have no power. She is set free. In the name of the Most High God, she is set free. She is set free. The blood of Christ I apply to her soul. The blood of Yeshua covers her from her crown to her third eye, all the way down. She is covered. She will have peace going forward. She will have rest going forward. I see her on the stage advocating to young women and men. She is set free so she can be used by God. Lord, I thank you right now for her life and her purpose. I thank you for bringing her to my channel right now, Lord God. I thank you for setting her free. Marcy, you are set free in the name of the Most High God. You are set free by the blood of Yeshua. You are set free. Walk in your freedom. Walk in your freedom. Walk in your freedom. Yes, baby. Receive it. Receive it. Receive it. Literally say, I receive this. Say it out loud. I receive this. You are going to be used by God. That's why those energies have been on you. Thank you, Lemon Pepper Stepper. That's why those energies have been on you, because you're chosen. Everybody that God brings to my channel is chosen. Every one of them, except for the trolls. You are set free. You are set free. Say out loud, I receive this, Lord. I receive it for her. You're showing me her in an auditorium on a stage, telling her story, and she's helping. I see people in the audience crying and being set free. My God, Lord, I give you praise right now. I give you praise. I give you glory. I give you honor. I give you thanks. Thank you, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God. Thank you for setting her free. Thank you, Lord God. Thank you. Thank you for setting her free. Thank you. Thank you, Lord God. Marcy, there's a song. I'm going to put the title in the comments because it's in my spirit. What is it called? Lord, I will lift mine eyes to the hill, knowing my help. What is it called, Lord? Give it to me. You are the source of my strength. Total praise. Thank you. Okay, I'm about to find. Yeah. You are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. Let me find it. I lift my hands in total praise to you. Oh my God, yes. Listen to this song tonight before you go to sleep. I can't, I can't play it because of copyright, but oh, I feel her spirit being lifted. Lord, I thank you right now. Okay. I want you to pull this song up on YouTube and listen to it. And she said, thank you, Lord God. Yes, yes, receive it. God said you're going to walk again. You're going to walk again. You being bound to that wheelchair was also the demons. You're going to walk again, Mercy, because when I see you standing on a stage by yourself. You're standing at like a podium. Maybe it's a pulpit. It might be a church. I don't know. But you're standing and you're speaking your truth. You're speaking your truth and you're helping other people. She said they oddly can't figure out why, but my legs are weak with severe groin pain. It's because of the damage that happened to you. Like that's why God told me to speak about your solar plexus. Those people that hurt you transmitted energy into and onto you that triggered this disease is disease. So I'm seeing you in a looks like an auditorium. Maybe it's a church, I don't know, but I'm seeing you at either a podium or a pulpit and you're speaking your truth and you're empowered because I see angelic beings like literally surrounding you, like they're in front of you, they're behind you, on the side of you, and you're speaking. And I see people in the audience crying and being set free. So claim your healing. Say, I receive this. You're going to walk because I don't see you in a wheelchair. I see you standing and speaking. So that damage, the severe groin pain, is a result of the trauma that you endured, which is why God brought you to my channel for me to pray over you and to help set you free. Lord, thank you right now. Thank you right now. This is why okay, I understand now. This is why, because I kept praying earlier today. I said, Lord, I want to be back on my feet. I want to be um, back working full time, but God has placed me in this position to help God's people, and I receive that. I receive that. And every door I need has been opened anyway. So hold on. I want to find, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to find this song. Because yeah, baby, that was not, you didn't deserve any of that. And they tried to take you out so that God couldn't use you, and that's why God sent you to my live tonight. Hold on. Of course, they're gonna try to play ads. Hold on, because I'm trying to find the song. Total praise. Hold on. I want to get the key. Lord, I will lift mine eyes to the hills, knowing my help is coming from you. Your peace you give me in times of the storm. You are the source of my strength. I can't sing full voice because I'm in a house with other people. The strength of my life. You need to listen to that song tonight when it's not so late and I can actually sing this full voice, because I have to sing it like super um soft because there's other people. Please listen to that song. Please. You're going to get healed. You're going to get healed when you listen to that song. You're going to get healed. Look, right, I put the name of it right on the comments. You should be able to see it on the screen. It's called Total Praise by Richard Smallwood. Now I understand why God brought that song to me this morning and last night, because Jaguar inspired me when she did her testimony song on her live a few days ago. It inspired me to get back into my gospel music, because that's what started my music journey when I started singing. And that was a song we actually used to sing in the choir back in the day. And I always found strength in that song. So it's right here up on the screen. Literally you can type it just like this into YouTube. Total Praise by Richard Smallwood. There's hold on, let me get the timestamp on it. It's hold on, because it has it in my playlist. 444. That's funny, because 444 is the angelic number for the ancestors. That's the timestamp on the song. So when you find it, um, you'll see that when you find it, the one that says 444, that's the song that I was just listening to and singing. Thank you, because my voice is hoarse because of my allergies and stuff. And like I said, I can't sing full voice because it's late and there are other people, here at the Airbnb. But that song, God said, that is where you're going to get your healing. So listen to that tonight. Listen to it every time you need to. Listen to it every day. And you're going to find healing in that. And it's going to renew your strength. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate it. Because right now, the way my allergies are with this weather change and my voice being hoarse, I can't, sing. Like I said, I can't sing how I want to. But that song is going to heal you internally, and it's going to heal your body. Like I said, I see you standing. I see you speaking. I see you, speaking your truth. I see you helping other people to heal. And again, I thank God for bringing you to my live tonight, because and please don't feel bad. Like I said, being an empaths, we feel other people's feelings. We just do. We feel everything about you. And being a clairvoyant, we see and hear energies. And so sometimes when I'm getting downloads, the angels will show me things, and I unfortunately, see people's trauma and actually physically see what happens to them. And that's why it was overwhelming for me, because I saw what happened to you. And what happened to you to empower you so that you could start your healing journey and then be used to help other people heal. So it's not my little thing. So it's not a bad thing. It's just part of my gifts, you know. And then, like I said, me being a psychic medium, I channel people's energy, and it's gotten a lot stronger, especially this past year, and especially as I've been celibate, my channeling abilities have intensified. And I get a lot of messages from people who have passed on, and all of that. So please don't feel bad. God sent you to me for me to pray that prayer off of you. See what I just did with you on the live before it ended. That's what I did as a spiritualist at the churches that I was at. I literally participated in casting out demons out of people, out of buildings, even out of churches, where we later find out there was activity going on, and it had a foundation in sexual abuse and satanic ritual abuse. So for me, I talk about this stuff not because I'm jumping on the Jaguar bandwagon, but because of my own real life experiences and knowing the true foundation of these demonic acts. Satanic ritual abuse is very real, and believe it or not, it happens in churches more than you would think. She says, "I'm an empath as well. I feel people, so I felt you." When you felt me, and it was incredibly overwhelming. Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. And also, the people who abused you, you're still feeling their trauma, which is why you're trying to find a way to help them, which is actually admirable. However, it's the only person you need to focus on healing is you. Like, legit. Focus on your healing so that God can use you, and God is going to use you, because I see it. I see it clear as day. I see you being used by God. So, Lord, I thank you for bringing her to my channel so that she could be set free. And you're going to walk within 6 months, is what I just heard. Within 6 months, you're going to be fully functional. I speak healing. Okay, this might sound weird, but do this with me, Marcy. Touch your womb, touch your abdomen, your right hand on your womb and your abdomen, and your left hand on both of your legs. Do that right now with me and repeat after me. I speak healing over my trauma. Say it 3 times. I speak healing, set free. I am healed. I will walk again. I will thrive. I will heal others, but I am healed by the blood of Yeshua that's been applied to my soul. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. And really believe that you are healed. See yourself walking again, because I see it. I see it. I see you. I am healed. I release this trauma. I release this trauma. I release this trauma. I release this trauma, because the trauma is what has caused you to not walk. And every time you start to feel, every time those emotions start to come up for you, do the same thing. Put your right hand over your womb, your abdomen, and put your left hand over both your legs or your thighs, and say to yourself and say out loud, I am healed. And watch and see if within 6 months you're walking again. This is November, December, January, February, March, April. By April, you're going to be walking, if not before. And keep believing it. Keep believing it, and it will manifest and it will happen. So, like I said, I didn't mean for the last live to end. It was the whole trying to disconnect, Instagram, and then Instagram ending the whole live. So yeah, what's going on with my afro? Okay. So yeah, I want you to walk in your healing and believe that you deserve it, and yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. She said, I have been vomiting and lost almost 100 pounds in less than a year. So yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. The vomiting is the trauma coming up out of you. So yeah, I'm going to pray right now, Most High, um, the sickness that has dwelled in her body from her crown all the way down. I speak peace to her right now, Lord God, as I pray this intercessory prayer. I speak peace to her. I speak healing to her throat chakra. I speak healing to her esophagus. I speak healing to her stomach. I speak healing to her digestive system. I speak healing to her womb and her abdomen. I don't know if you have kids, but I'm hearing a daughter. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're going to have a daughter. Um, wow. You're going to have a daughter with sandy blonde hair. So if someone told you that you can't have kids, you're going to have a daughter. Um, wow, I see her. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful little girl. Yeah, I speak healing to this is trauma that's coming up out of you. It's not a good thing for it to have lasted as long, but it's actually it's your body's way of eliminating the trauma. So I speak peace to your esophagus. I speak peace to your throat chakra and healing for you to speak your truth. I speak peace and healing to your digestive system and to your womb. God keeps telling me to pinpoint your womb and your intestinal tract. You will have peace tonight. You will have rest tonight. And God says, all you have to do, Marcy, is believe that you are healed and you shall be. And so it is. Ashe and amen. And blessed be. She said, I can get on board. I have 3 and I'm 50. Hey, it doesn't matter if you're 52. Janet Jackson had a baby at 55. So hold on, let me, this pillow's making my thigh itch. I'm seeing a daughter. I'm seeing a little girl with sandy blonde hair with big cheeks and a real big smile. So you're gonna have a daughter. Not unless, you decide to adopt her, but um I believe you're gonna give birth to this baby girl. So yeah, I want you to walk in your healing, walk in your power. That's what the Most High is saying. Walk in your healing and walk in your power. And you might be in the wheelchair right now, but you won't be by April. And I would love it if you come back to my channel in April and tell me that you're walking. And if you're on Instagram, follow me on there. My Instagram tag is the same as my YouTube channel. Same just like with Facebook and TikTok, but Instagram is the platform that I am on the most. So you can definitely send me a DM. And if you send me a follow, I'll definitely follow you back. She says, oh, hold on. My laptop moved. She says, I have 3 daughters. Well, you're about to have a 4th one. You're about to have a 4th one. Yeah, I have a feeling that the daughter you have now, the one you're gonna have, is gonna look a lot like her. So yeah, I'm seeing a little girl with sandy blonde hair, with big cheeks and a real big smile. And you're calling her, you're calling her your little sunshine. Yeah, you're gonna have another one. I can tell you right now, every time I've seen a child in the 5D, they're born. Both of my oldest sisters, 2 youngest daughters, I saw them before she even got pregnant with them, and they're living, and they look exactly how I described to her they were going to look. And one of the ladies that I follow from Loud Music, by the way, shout out to Loud Music and Derek McKinney. One of the ladies there that I didn't even know was pregnant when I first met her. She ended up posting that she was pregnant, and I saw her son before she found out the sex, and then she had her son. Well, either this is going to be a miracle baby, that's what I'm hearing, a divine destiny child. Okay, yeah, this is a child that's destined to be born because she's also chosen. So she's she's going to be born. I don't know if it's going to be through surrogacy, possibly, but you're going to have another daughter. And this daughter is one. A lot of these kids that are being born in this generation are the chosen. They're like, they're the ones that go after us, basically, because we're the chosen, but they're like the next generation chosen kids. Watercoloring a young girl as we are doing this, and that is like giving birth. Yeah, it is. And I'm telling you, like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing you standing, I'm seeing you sharing your truth, and I'm seeing you with this little girl. So yeah, you're gonna be just fine. And I feel like tonight is you're gonna have the best rest that you've ever had, and you're going to continue to be healed on my beautiful granddaughter. Oh, yeah, you're definitely gonna have another little girl though. So, um, you might be one of those women that have children well into your 60s. It does happen. I seen a post a couple months ago. Our lady was 75 and had a baby. I was like, ooh, I don't think for me personally, I don't want to do that, but you know, to each their own. Thank you, Joy. Yeah, I was StreamYard had popped up a notification to disconnect Instagram because Instagram stops after an hour. And instead of it disconnecting Instagram, it ended the whole live, which of course I didn't want. But I thank God that Marcy came back because I was like, Lord, as soon as it ended, I was like, Lord, please bring her back. Because I knew I had more of a message to give you. And I thank God for giving me that prayer, to pray over. You're welcome. Look, that's why I'm on this earth. That's why they sent me back when I died, went to heaven, and came back. God has me here for a reason. And I tell people all the time that I am a high priestess and I'm not an evil one. I'm a light worker, and a light worker is someone who has had the experience of death and rebirth and comes back to give a message from the most high and bring healing to this realm. And so that's why I refer to myself as a high priestess, because I'm here to bring healing to this earth. And sometimes healing does come in the form of speaking raw and unfiltered, like I am about, Oprah. And again, that's why I admire Jaguar so much, because she is fearlessly speaking her truths. And she has literally participated in rescuing women who are victims of trafficking and victims of sexual abuse. And so I have so much high respect for her. I really do. And she speaks raw and unfiltered. She doesn't sugarcoat shit. And it empowers me. It empowers me to not be afraid to speak raw and unfiltered. And like I said, this whole thing with Oprah, it's just, it rubs me the wrong way. It does. And I really don't believe that Oprah has any intention of being an advocate. I believe that she uses that as a cover for what allegedly has been said about her, that she allegedly participates in that. So yeah, this whole "it feels good" crap, no. It can, after sustained abuse, when you get used to, like I was saying, that young man I met, he was like, well, after a while I craved it. And that is where, we find that I've always said that rape is a demon, molestation is demonic. There's nothing high vibrational about forcing yourself on anyone. There's not. So unfortunately, when you start to like the abuse, it's because those energies have been transferred to you. And that's why when I channeled you, I felt all of that, and God was like, no, pray that to release that off of her. She said, I thought it was just too much, so I wasn't going to come back. And when I saw you went back on live and how heavy that was, no, and I'm so glad you came back. I really am, because I was like, I felt in that moment that was definitely the low vibrationals trying to work against me trying to pray the prayer to set you free. And I immediately was like, Lord, bring her back. If nobody else rejoins the lie, bring her back so I can give her this message. Because when the Most High gives me messages to give people, I have to get it out. I have to give it to them for a divine purpose. And that is what my gifts are for. And yes, it can get overwhelming at times, but I can handle it. I can handle it. And I feel that you feel light. I feel that those energies have left. And that's the other thing that I need everyone to understand. When you are chosen by God and you are what I call a high vibrational, you're a chosen person. There's a scripture, I need to find it. There's a scripture that says, at the name of Christ, even the demons hear the name of Christ and tremble. And it's the truth. So we do have dominion over demons. Christ took the keys of death and hell, literally, and they don't have any power over us unless we allow them to have power over us. So now, like I said, I fully understand why God took me down the journey that I went down, even though the church where I performed a lot of this, oh wow. Now I didn't even look this up. Okay, God said share the screen. Okay. Because I was getting ready to look for that scripture and this popped up. Ephesians 1:9-10, having made known unto us the mystery of his will according to his good pleasure, which he hath purposed in himself, that in the dispensation of the fullness of times, he might gather together in one all things in Christ, both which are in heaven and which are on earth, even in him. So that's why everybody who's on my live is on my live right now. God brought you here. Literally, God brought you to this live, and I'm grateful. I want to make sure everybody can see that scripture. Again, this is Ephesians 1:9-10. Now, I don't care for the King James Version of the Bible because, as I recently showed y'all, that the King James Version is actually the Masonic Bible. However, this is a website that popped up, so I just chose to use it. But I do want to find that scripture real quick because I didn't look this up. That just popped up when I pulled up this website. Tremble at the name of Christ. Because I need y'all to understand the power that you actually possess when you walk in Christ's energy. Even the demons tremble. Oh, come on. I might have to Google it. Okay, I'll Google it because this Bible thing is not working. Scripture, there we go. Believe and tremble. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. So it's even the demons believe and tremble. That's why you have to know, okay, you know what? Let's not even do that website anymore. You have to know the power that you possess. Here we go. James 2:19. Now this is the one I normally use. Let's just use the NIV one since it's first. I really believe that the Hebrew Bible is the closest to the original one. Can we get the actual 2:19? Okay. So James 2, verse 19. Can we highlight and pull that up? There we go. Okay. What happened? Wait. Go back. It's doing all these other things. There. You believe that there is one God, good. Even the demons believe that and shudder. The original King James says, even the demons believe that and tremble. That's the thing. Once you know the power you possess, you can command a demon to flee. Anything to do with Christ, they hate. That's why I was showing y'all in the last live how the Baphomet and the Church of Satan inverts and perverts everything to do with Christ. That's why they do the cross upside down. It's like a slight against God. But here's the thing, the demons, even though they participate in that, they know who God is. That's the reason that they hate us, is because they got cast out of heaven. When Lucifer and the third of the angels that left with him got cast out, They became angry because they were separated from the love of God. That's why they attack us, because we're given free will and they have no authority and they have no connection to the Most High. So they become angry. Marcy says, could I DM you? I have questions about being a seer and such. I have to go for tonight, though. I cannot begin to tell you how much you're so welcome, my love. And yes, if you're on Instagram, just like my channel is all together, just D Show, just send me a DM. I'll check I usually don't check my messages that often or my message request, but I'll leave the app open so that when your request comes through, I can approve it and then we can continue to talk. Because absolutely, and I'm really glad you asked that, because I was hoping you would want to stay in touch. I feel like, well, I know God brought you to my channel, but I definitely feel that God is going to use you, and in any way, shape, or form that I can help you, I will do that. That's my purpose on this planet. So yes, ma'am, send me a DM on Instagram and let me know that it's you from this live, and I got you. And you're welcome. I'm glad that God could use me tonight to help you. And I feel that you are lighter, and I thank the Most High for that. It's not about me, it's about you being healed. So I thank God for you. I thank God for your life and your purpose. And I thank God for your healing, and just continue to receive it. Okay, my love. And I know everybody probably can't stay on because of the time, but for those who can, I do want to continue to show, what God gave me to share tonight. Okay.
That confuses the child. And that, I think, is such an important with an open mind, not to judge you, but to try to understand. And to try to understand so that we can help other people understand, so that
the terrible thing.
Words will not be in vain. That's the wish and prayer that I have for this session with us today, okay?
You know what, Oprah? I just cannot. We're going to move on. Because it sounds good, but I can feel that her intentions are not pure. I really do. I feel that her intentions are not pure. You're so welcome, Marcy Love. And I thank God for you. I really do. I thank God that you came into my live tonight. And I'm going to continue to keep you in my prayers. It's not going to stop with tonight. I'm definitely going to continue to pray for you. And yes, send me that DM so that we can stay in touch. And I speak healing over you. So yeah, this is, oh wait, that's just another video kind of saying the same thing. Hold on, because they keep showing these ads and it's like super annoying. Oh wait, no, I can't. No. That's Richard Smallwood. This is what I was trying to get to. Was, hold on, Jaguar. Okay. Okay. So this is one of the videos. And again, shout out to Jag. Shout out to Jaguar. Shout out to her mod squad. Shout out to her team. And shout out to you for using your platforms to also speak the truth and to help rescue people. Okay, so this was Jaguar Wright reveals why Oprah left the country after Diddy's arrest. And before I play that, I want to show you guys a couple of articles that I found. So it says the video shows satanic death cult high priestess Oprah Winfrey condoning and promoting pedophilia and sex trafficking. And see, again, there's different types of high priestesses. I need everyone to understand that too. There are dark high priestesses, and then there are high priestesses like myself, who we are what's called a light worker. And a light worker is someone that brings awareness to, things that people need to heal from. And we speak healing and prayers, like what I just did with Mercy. We speak healing and prayers over people to help them heal. And this is from, what year is this from? Is there a date? This is from PolitiFact. Well, it just talks about the date of this photo. She looks, I'm sorry, but she looks evil as hell right here. Like for real. This is not the look of an advocate. They claim that Oprah condones pedophilia. Claims that Oprah condones pedophilia take her comments out of context. Not really, because she definitely, you know, in my opinion, I feel like she was condoning it. It says the post points to a TikTok that opens with a clip that shows Winfrey describing the confusing point of view of a 7-year-old child being physically molested and manipulated by their molester. Even if you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. That's the part where it does make you look crazy. And yeah, she said when she first said this years ago, people were like, "You're crazy." Well, it does. Because everyone wants to believe that it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happening. It's the way you're saying it, Oprah. It really is. It's the way you're saying it. And it doesn't, in my spirit, I don't feel that you saying those words is helping anybody. Like, I don't. So yeah, this is just another article about that. Hold on. Oprah, Trump, and who's who of Hollywood hype, Diddy's 1998 birthday bash and unearthed VHS party invitation. So for her claiming that she had never been to a Diddy party and that she had never participated, but in 98, you were clearly on this list is a bit telling. It says, amid the explosive Diddy abuse scandal, a source sent Page Six a jaw-dropping VHS tape that was sent out as an invitation to the mogul's 29th birthday in 1998. The nearly 6-minute video serves both as a time capsule from the peak of the bad boy era. And it's interesting that he referred to himself as a bad boy when he actually is a despicable human being. And as a reminder of how far Diddy, who even skipped this year's Grammy Awards, has slipped socially amid the investigation. The tape, which arrived in the hands of the most powerful and glamorous players in LA and New York in a black velvet pouch with the birthday gala November 4th, 1998. Interesting that it's November 4th. Written on it, while script features Oprah, Donald Trump, not surprised there, and Mr. Grab him by the pussy, Derek Jeter, wow, Derek Jeter too, Ellen DeGeneres, Chris Rock, Mariah Carey, Magic Johnson, Will Smith, Ben Stiller, Joan Rivers, Wyclef Jean, Steven Tyler, and Joe Perry, Tommy Hilfiger, Clive Davis. Not a shocker that Clive Davis was there. Ronald Perelman, Penny Marshall, Robin Leach, and Stephen Baldwin, among others, taking turns to hype the bash, encourage the recipients to RSVP, and to goof off for the camera. So we've got Clive Davis, who's been accused for decades of raping and trafficking people. And we've got Donald Trump, former president, unfortunately probably will be president again, Mr. Grab him by the pussy. And the first name on here is Oprah. Yeah, this is not surprising at all whatsoever.
Celebrate the birth of John. I'll say P. Diddy. P. Diddy. P. Diddy. I thought his name was Puff Daddy. P. Diddy. Must be that. You were cordially invited.
Wow, look at how young Will looks. This is crazy. He looks extremely young. I don't know if I can continue to play the video because of the background music. I wonder if they have captions. Are there captions? Oh, there's not. Well, let me do this. I'm going to put the link in the comments. That way people can go watch this on their own time. Because again, because of copyright, I don't, and the song in the background, I don't know if I can continue to play it, but I will play it without the sound. I just wish it had captions. And I really look at all these different actors and actresses differently now. Like, were all of y'all involved in the freak offs? I mean, because why else would you be going to Diddy's parties if you weren't involved in it? And that looks like their baby. That was Kim Porter. Um, wow. All these people that so many have looked up to. Yeah, definitely looking at Chris Rock a lot differently. Um, this one is, let's see, sex tapes of Sean Diddy Combs with 3 different A-list celebrities allegedly exist, according to an attorney who represented one of Sean Diddy Combs' accusers. Claims she's been told about the existence. And again, this is attorney Ariel Mitchell Kidd. Isn't she the one that was on the Pierce Morgan interview? Hold on. I think she is. Let me just look this up real quick. I'm pretty sure that was the lady that was on the Pierce Morgan interview. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that's her. That's the same one. So that Pierce Morgan interview with Jaguar and Pierce Morgan, this is the same attorney, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, who defended Jag and also, you know, spoke on Vlad vulture culture looking ass. But yeah, attorney Ariel Mitchell Kidd, who represented one of Sean Diddy Combs' accusers, claims she's been told about the existence of 3 sex tapes featuring the disgraced music mogul and 3 other celebs. The individual who contacted me purported to have 3 different tapes with 3 different celebrities, including Diddy, and then a 4th celebrity without Diddy, but in a compromising situation with someone. The lawyer claimed on News Nation's Banfield with guest host Laura Ingle Friday. Mitchell Kidd added that it is believed the person in the alleged 4th tape was recorded at one of Combs' homes, and said the other 3 individuals were reportedly A-list celebrities. Is this like a video or just a photo? Okay, that's just a photo. And I can't attest to whether or not they exist or not. I was just told initially that they own this treasure trove of videos. So I have to believe that there are a lot of celebrities who know what they did, which again makes me look at that video that I just played from his 1998 birthday party. Like, now it's like, how do you know who is who? How do you know who participated? If all these celebrities and Donald Trump's ass, which I mean, he's been accused of being a predator for decades and unfortunately made president. But it's like, if all these people were participating at these parties, how far did y'all participate? You know? So yeah, this is, isn't this, yeah, this is one of the victims. This is accuser Adria English, beautiful young lady. Mitchell Kidd was the lawyer for former model Adria English, who sued Combs for sex trafficking in July, claiming the bad boy for life rapper once forced sexual intercourse with famed jeweler Jacob Arabov. She also claimed in the suit that she was then expected to be passed off to other people. Yeah, that's, and again, this is why I salute Jaguar so much, because a lot of people are mad at her for how she speaks out, but Jaguar has actually rescued young women from Epstein Island and from Diddy's freak-offs. Diddy investigators have interviewed male escorts about his infamous freak-off parties, and they're happy to talk, according to a source. Now, this was just published on the 31st of October, so just a few days ago. Federal authorities are digging into Diddy's freak-off sex parties and have been interviewing male escorts who say they were part of the sexual debauchery. Now, this absolutely has to be true because Cassie detailed this in her lawsuit. She told us about how Diddy had her to, recorded her, basically her being forced to have sex with male prostitutes. So, yeah, he's definitely going down. They're all too happy to talk, says a federal law enforcement source who was involved in the investigation. We're asking them about their recollections of the freak offs. Hold on. What they were paid to do and who else was involved. I'm surprised how many of them can recall intricate details about what happened. Well, you don't really forget details when you're, involved in such, bull. Um, the source told the Post that many of the men who were in their 20s at the time of the parties, but are now in their 40s and have aged out of the skin biz, have offered similar details about parties, including the drugs that they were allegedly supplied. And I told y'all in the last couple of lives about how they confirmed that the baby oil, in fact, was GHB and also had elements of ketamine in it as well. And both of those are used as a date rape drug. They were all encouraged to take Viagra and Cialis before the parties. They were expected to perform and were told if they didn't perform, they'd be thrown out of the party and not paid. Wow. So you hire prostitutes, male prostitutes, allegedly, and then if they couldn't keep it up, you would throw them out and not pay them. Wow. Authorities are trying to determine if any of the participants in Diddy's freak-offs were underage or illegally coerced into performing. Wow. Federal agents raided two of Diddy's homes in March, seizing hundreds of sex videos and a mountain of sex paraphernalia, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. In a statement, the U.S. Attorney's Office alleged that the sex parties were not always consensual. A lot of people have alleged that. Sean Diddy Combs' alleged sexual abuse of women included forcing them to engage in frequent, days-long sexual activity with male prostitutes, some of whom were transported over state lines, according to the charges against him. These events, which Combs referred to as freak-offs, were elaborate sex performances that he arranged, directed, and often electronically recorded. So you have to understand the mentality of someone who clearly is demon-possessed, because again, only someone who is on the energy of demonic entities would have such elaborate parties and force people, especially women, to do things they didn't want to do. Oh shoot, I gotta get up again. Hold on. With alleged male prostitutes. Hold on, you guys, because I didn't realize it was as late as it is, and I do need to take my sleep aid. And don't y'all mind my little gray shorts, because again, y'all really only are supposed to see my top, but because of the position of my chair, it was a little further away from my nightstand than I realized. So yeah, like I said, Jaguar speaking on this after Cassie went public with her lawsuit. Has opened up the doors for all of his activity to be completely exposed, and I'm very proud of her for what she has done, being an advocate and rescuing, young girls and teenage girls and women from monsters like him. To ensure participation in freak-offs, Combs used violence and intimidation and leveraged his power over victims, power he obtained through obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, exploiting his financial support to them, and threatening to cut off the same, and controlling their careers. A lot of people said that, Diddy has been charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. In addition to the charges, he faces a myriad of civil suits from his alleged victims, including 2 new lawsuits from men who allege that they were just 10 and 17 when they were horrifically raped by the music mogul. Combs has repeatedly denied wrongdoing. He has pleaded not guilty and insists that any sexual contact he has had with people has been consensual. Well, of course, a predator is not going to admit that they're a predator. I mean, seriously. I don't know any predators that actually admit that they are predators, because the best way that a monster or an abuser can continue their abuse is by denying that they are abusive. And it takes therapy, it takes them being locked up, it takes them being faced with a mirror for them to see, this is who I am. And like Marcy was saying, some people can't face the truth, because if they face the truth, and they have to admit that some part of them is sick and that they are a terrible person. And yeah, definitely Diddy deserves to be right where he is. And you're not getting out, sir. In no way, shape, or form are you ever going to get out. You're going to pay for what you did, as you should. And again, shout out to Jaguar for speaking her truth. Okay, so again, this is I'll put the title for those that want to actually look up these videos themselves and watch them on your own time. And also just in case the audio goes in and out. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So that's the title of this one.
You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs. You know, parents often always think that it's going to be something.
And I want to stop this real quick. Those are the men that she has said she has gone and rescued young girls from. And the strength it takes to walk into an environment where these things are going on and be the advocate and be the one to go in and rescue, instead of people coming for her and talking shit about her, they should be celebrating the fact that she put her life literally on the line to rescue people. And now it also even furthermore makes more sense as to why Gay-Z and the Diddler have been doing all they can to try to suppress her, to come for all the major platforms that she's been on. And to threaten her, just like when they had those men attack her a few years ago after she lost her son, who Gay-Z threatened to take out, and then unfortunately succeeded at doing. The same son that showed up and gave me the messages to give her 2 Sundays ago. They have done everything they can to try to make her out to be crazy, to try to make her out to not be credible, to come for her, and sending people after her, sending people to her platform, sending trolls to create fake pages and fake YouTube channels to report her. And you know why? Because they know that they're being exposed, because they know that what she's saying is the truth, and that she has receipts, as well as other women who worked in those parties have receipts as well. So again, shout out to the queen. I'm always sending you prayers of positivity, prayers of divine protection, healing, peace, and favor and abundance, because you deserve it. So hold on. I just got another text. Hold on, you guys. Okay, let me take this off of the Bluetooth, because that is important. Give me a second. Because yeah, that involves some actual business that needs to be taken care of. Okay, so yeah, like I said, shout out to Jaguar for speaking her truth and fearlessly speaking her truth after all the shit that they put her through. And that's also how you know she's chosen. When a person can go through so much hell behind simply speaking their truth, and go through so much trauma, and still be an advocate for other people, still be someone that wants to help other people, you have to you have to show them a certain level of respect, because she could have been like a lot of people that sweep shit under the rug and don't say anything, because I don't want them to come for me, or I don't want them to come for my son. And there are other videos where, you know, she's talked about that how they were going to come for her, and how they were going to come for her son. So again, shout out to Jaguar for her courageous, you know, energy and helping to rescue people.
Horrible, terrible thing. If the is any good, he makes the child feel that the child is a part of it.
And that's the part that no one's going to co-sign with you on, Oprah. Like, no one's going to co-sign you saying that, because I'm just being honest, it doesn't come across as protective energy. It comes across as you're claiming that by saying this, it will help people to become aware, but you're also low key advocating that, well, they can make it feel good. No one wants to hear that who has survived sexual abuse. Nobody does.
First it was P. Diddy, and now Oprah Winfrey is going through it for the second time. So apparently the first time they raided her house, they found some evidence.
Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew.
And for those who don't know, this is Gene Deal. Gene Deal was Diddy's security guard for the longest time, I think like over 10 or 20 years. And he, on his channel, he's been talking about Diddy way before Jaguar got on the Pierce Morgan interview a couple of months ago. Because matter of fact, I started following Gene Deal after I saw him on Storm Monroe's channel. Shout out to Storm Monroe. Storm Monroe has had Jaguar on his channel for the last few years. And that was when I started really paying more attention to her, you know, by seeing her pop up on his channel. And then the whole, you know, Tokyo Tony thing. I don't care for Tokyo Tony's energy. She's very toxic. I'm actually kind of glad Jaguar's not really teamed up with her anymore. But when I saw Gene Deal detailing about what he witnessed with Diddy, you know, he's been saying that Diddy was down low and, you know, all this stuff about him, that it would come to light. And then I found out he had a channel. I subscribed to his channel. I didn't know that Jaguar had a channel until recently, you know, when that last interview I watched where she was on with Storm Monroe. Let's see, I came back here last month? Yeah, last month. So I saw that interview in September, and she was sitting in the closet. That's what caught my eye. I was like, why is she sitting in the closet? And I realized that she was in a place where she really couldn't speak freely. And that was when I saw that she actually had a YouTube channel. I'm like, dude, I would have been following her YouTube channel. But her and Gene Deal separately have been speaking out against Diddy. And Gene Deal was the one that I first heard talking about the Cassie situation when the whole lawsuit was happening, you know, between Cassie and Diddy. And a lot of people were saying that Cassie was just after money and, oh, they're trying to bring a good black man down and all this other bullshit. And I knew, because again, I'm an empath, so I feel energy. I knew that he was guilty of the things that Cassie put in her lawsuit. And so, from when I cried earlier. And so shout out to Gene Deal, you know, shout out to all the people in the industry that were around the diddler who are exposing him, who are not afraid. And you know why they're not afraid? Because they know and they have receipts. These people are not making this shit up. They have their receipts. Jag said she has footage. He has said he has footage, as he would being the diddler's security guard. And he was like, and all these people that are even have threatened him, you know, because he talked about it on his channel about the people that threatened him and how they were going to come for him. He was like, I wish I would, because all I got to do is release the footage that I have. Why do you think he's not afraid to speak? Why do you think that Diddy and Gay-Z have not sued him? Why do you think that Diddy and Gay-Z haven't sued Jaguar? Because they know that these motherfuckers got proof. They know that they have proof about what they've done. And yeah, Gay-Z is next. He's going to be next to get arrested. I know he thinks that all of his Luciferian connections and all of his Masonic connections and all of his Aleister Crowley, do as thou wilt connections are going to protect him. But again, y'all are not bigger than the Most High. Just because this planet belongs to the son of perdition, you do know that the son of perdition is going to be chained for 1,000 years on this planet. That all power belonging to the fallen that followed Lucifer out of heaven, they're all going to be not just condemned, but confined. And they're not going to be set free. This is the realm of the chosen. This is the time of the chosen. The last shall be first, the first shall be last. And these people who have sat silent out of fear and to protect themselves and to protect their families. And I send healing to Jaguar right now because I hated seeing what they did to her after they took her son from her. It was heartbreaking. It was absolutely heartbreaking seeing that footage. When she says those men jumped on her and hogtied her, I remember seeing that live. They really just beat her like she was a dude. Like it was crazy. All because she was exposing Jay-Z. I'm not even going to call him Jay-Z anymore. She was exposing Jay-Z, and she had kind of just started exposing the diddler, but she was really going in on him because he isn't the person that y'all think. Like I showed y'all a few lives ago. He had a whole, and still has a whole clothing line with the title "Do As Thou Wilt" across the fucking shirts. Matter of fact, for those that don't believe, let me pull that up right quick because I feel that energy, that you lion energy. So let's show them since they don't want to believe. Because it's not a conspiracy when there's proof. There's not. Hold on. Let me just bring it up. Share this tab. There we go. Because ain't nobody who is advocating and promoting Aleister Crowley of any sort of divine light. Not at all. Yeah, here we go. And he was promoting this during the what was the name of that album that he put out with Rihanna and Kanye? Run the World, isn't that what it's called? Yeah, he referred to himself as the peace god. Run This Town. That's the name of it for that video. Run This Town. And yeah, suggested the first black man was God, and he uses the phrase peace God, even though according to so many, you're a fucking predator, allegedly. So this is Aleister Crowley, for those who don't know. Aleister Crowley was the first founder of the Church of Satan. There we go. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Wait, no, not right click, just click. And then this is the one I use for the thumbnail from my last video. Do what thou wilt, the satanic mandate. Let's share this tab. So we have Anton LaVey, who pretty much took over the Church of Satan that Aleister Crowley started. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Aleister Crowley, a Satanist. Then Anton LaVey took over the Church of Satan. And even the Beatles, the whole Beatles idea was to do what you want, do what thou wiltst, as long as it doesn't hurt somebody. John Lennon. Bet a lot of you Beatle fans never even knew that shit. And then we have Jay-Z, do what thou wilt. And this is an actual clothing brand that I remember him promoting back in the day. And that's what made me stop listening to his music when I seen this shit. And I hadn't even done, let me hide that comment. I hadn't even done all of the research then that I'm doing now. So you've got these four men who have been very well known in the world. You've got Church of Satan, the first founder of the Church of Satan, you've got the Beatles, and then you got Jay-Z. Industry men. From the Beatles to Jay-Z, same concept, because they all are a part of the same community. And this is the shit that Jaguar has been exposing. And again, the reason why they came for her and still are the way that they're doing it. This says, Hail Mary to the city, you're a virgin and Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. Wow. Wow. So yeah, like I said, for those that don't believe, please do your own research, because it's not, none of this is conspiracy theory when, like I said, there's actual proof. And here we go, the symbolism. And this Bible is a satanic Bible, by the way, which I also researched. So yeah, this man is not a good black man. Oh, I'm getting a download. My ears are ringing. Keep speaking your truth. I am. Keep showing them. I am. That's my job. Yeah, this man here, for those who want to say, oh, they're coming for all the good black men. I don't know any good men that align with Aleister Crowley and Anton LaVey and John Lennon. And notice that they both have glasses on, hiding their eyes. That in the eyes are the mirror to the soul. It's interesting because I never noticed that until now. They both are wearing sunglasses. And this fool is wearing sunglasses inside of a building. And they're both in the music industry. John Lennon is one of the most well-known music artists because of the Beatles, just as Jay-Z. Everyone knows who Jay-Z is. Even people that don't listen to rap knows who he is. Oh, that's Beyonce's husband. Matter of fact, this lady that I recently met that assisted me with some things that I needed financially, she was saying, you know, how I was telling her about my channel and how I'm speaking out against all this stuff. She's like, oh, Jay-Z, you mean Beyonce's husband? Which is hilarious because obviously she doesn't listen to rap music. And technically, Jay-Z kind of put Beyonce on. But yeah, because she was struggling for a while. But people know who she is. People know who he is. Aleister Crowley quotes on Satan. Let's share the tab. Do what thou wilt, Aleister Crowley. And then we have Lady Gaga. Do what you want. And notice how her hair is the same exact shape as his hat. Like I said, the industry is run by Luciferian Satanists. And for all of y'all that are calling me, Jaguar, and other people conspiracy theorists, again, I'm showing you the proof. I'm literally showing you the proof. So if you want to continue to be blind, you can continue to be blind, but you can't say that no one told you, and you can't say that no one showed you, because we absolutely have and still are. Let's see. The Opposer, satanic ritual. And I've been speaking about satanic ritual abuse, which is very real. This is from the Los Angeles Times. The wording's too small to read. Wait, this says she is 10 years old and her face is alight with youthful excitement as she stares up at the curtain with the word epitaph scrawled across the center. She is in the front row, the envy of hundreds who are packed in tight behind her while her father stands protectively beside her. Rob is my favorite, she tells me in a quiet voice. He's kind of shy. And as Rob Halford looked down into her face near the end of Judas Priest's last show of their tour in Biloxi, Mississippi, interesting that it's Biloxi, he told her, you will remember this concert for the rest of your life. Being enchanted may not be the most common way to describe a heavy metal concert experience, but for the young girl seeing her favorite band, the word takes on a whole new meaning. Wow. So Judas Priest, well, it makes sense. The first word is Judas, and Judas betrayed Christ. But I want to look up epitaph because I've heard that and I remember it, but I don't fully remember it. So let's Let's do just a touch of research. Y'all know I do this. This is where my Scorpio obsession part comes in handy. An inscription on a tomb or grave in memory of the one buried there. A brief statement commemorating or epitomizing a deceased person or something past. Wow. Wow. But y'all still want to say that he's not evil. And then it's the audacity to put the Egyptian eye over it. Y'all are just stupid as hell. And then, of course, this is the Satanist, emblem for the Baphomet. And for those who don't know, Jonathan Hay, who I showed y'all that interview with Jonathan Hay and Jaguar a few lives ago. Jonathan Hay was a producer. He was Rihanna's publicist during her first album, and he's also a producer. He gave an account himself about how when he went into Jay-Z's studio, there was a huge statue of the Baphomet inside of Jay-Z's studio. So yeah, y'all can say conspiracy theory all you want, but you have actual people in the industry who have been around this man who all have accounts of the activity and the fuck shit he has done. And by the way, these are all Freemasons, just so y'all know. This is a Freemason assembly, and that's Jay-Z right there. So yeah, the trolls that keep coming for Jaguar, myself and other people speaking out, and it's kind of hard to say that everybody's lying. Oh, and then the live I did the other day where I showed y'all Nicki Minaj doing the humiliation ritual with Ray J. And the part of that interview, or that live rather, because it was an IG live, not an interview, where he said he had a homie that can go up on a mountain with a lamb and slice its throat and pour the blood all over him. I showed you guys how that's a satanic ritual. It's a satanic bath, essentially, to mock the blood of the lamb that during the Passover, that in the Bible it said when the angel of death saw the lamb's blood over their homes, it skipped over their homes. This woman here, I do believe, is the wife for the founder of the Church of Satan. Shoot, I wish I could get her name. I've seen her before when I've researched the Church of Satan. Hold on. Oh, I gotta get her name. Hold on, because see, now I've got to look this up because I know this woman's face. And notice how she's holding the head of a goat that's covered in blood. Hold on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this in a new tab. And oh, here's another good example of the Baphomet. And as you can see, the inverted cross and the do is outwilled 666 crap. Hold on. I need to look that up because I know her name's on the tip of my tongue. Hold on. Wife of Anton. Isn't that his wife? Is that his wife? Hold on. That's interesting how Taylor Swift looks a lot like her. Wow, that's a bit creepy. Okay, if not, I'm going to look at a Church of Satan because I've seen that lady when I've researched the Church of Satan woman. I've seen her. I can't remember her name, but I have definitely seen her. This is nuts, bro. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. They've got the Baphomet in the middle, 2 inverted crosses. Can this get bigger? And all the pews are red, representing blood, which blood sacrifice. And then we've got images. I think that's also the full Baphomet. That's why I said they're not afraid, y'all. They are not afraid to, openly worship their deity. They're not afraid to openly show the shit. So why in the fuck should we be afraid to speak against it and expose it? Wow. Satanic Temple to hold first Black Mass in Canada. Wow. This is so crazy. There we go. There's a Baphomet. So this is the statue that Jonathan Hayes said he saw inside of Jay-Z's studio, which again, why does Jay-Z have the Baphomet inside of a music studio? That means that all of his content, all of his music has the energy of the Baphomet, and anyone who created music with him in that studio, you were definitely being bewitched by these demonic forces and didn't even know it. And this is a Masonic hand symbol as well. And then you've got the boy here on the left, a girl on the right. You've got children looking up to this demon that they sacrifice children to, just like Moloch, which I showed you guys on my last live. This is why it's so important to research this shit and research these artists and research, these rappers that you follow and idolize. And idolatry is not anything that the Most High aligns with whatsoever. Is that a coffin? Yes, it is. Wow. It says she knew she was in trouble. Internet users go into a total frenzy over bizarre conspiracy theory that Taylor Swift is actually a former satanic leader. I mean, well, she looks like it. Xena, I mean, come on, bruh. That looks like her. And when they drink adrenochrome, it gives them the fountain of youth. This very well could honestly be her. I mean, I just don't see how it's not. I really don't. I don't see how it's not. Because, yeah, they're saying she's 26, the lady's 52. That could very well be her. Especially if she's drank adrenochrome. That very well could be her. But that's not the subject at hand. But she does look a lot like her. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. This is the statue that Jonathan Hay described was inside of Jay-Z's studio. And these are some satanic symbols. So if you ever see these, understand that these are not harmless. They have a purpose. And these people are more than willing to appease their deity and appease, what they call their God. Wow. And this looks like an altar. So yeah, like I said, this earth belongs to the fallen. It belongs to Satan and Lucifer and the fallen angels. But again, God is pulling. God's pulling the God is pulling everything off of them. Was this at the Grammys? Wasn't this at the Grammys? Hold on. Oh, you're not blocking my throat chakra. Don't even try. Sam Smith and Kim Petras Grammys performers criticized for being satanic. Oh, I remember this. Because, yeah, they had on all this symbolic shit. Yeah. And I learned in color psychology that red represents anger, passion, and blood. I mean, so kind of makes sense. Yeah. Then you've got all these women in red. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 9 represents, yeah, then this one, this fool, Little Nas X, doing a video where he's getting fucked by Satan. I mean, it's just, again, the industry is so corrupt. It's insane. It is really insane. And that's why I definitely believe everything that Jaguar has been talking about and exposing about Jay-Z and the Diddler, because I mean it's clear as day that the true purpose of the dark side of the industry, and really the whole industry, in my opinion, is to bewitch and bring people over to the satanic side. And they do it. I mean, Lucifer was the minister of music, so it makes sense that artists such as Jay-Z, Ab-Soul, which I told you I believe stands for Absent Soul. We talked about him a few lives ago. In Ab-Soul, his album is titled Do What Thou Wilt. And all of his songs under this album, they have said are Masonic rites. So yeah, this industry shit is very real. I'm trying to find Jay-Z's his clothing line. Hold on. Because I want y'all to see how real this shit is. Yep. And you see Aleister Crowley on here. Who the fuck is walking around with this shit except for people who are aligned with it? And this picture just disturbs me because Robin Thicke was an artist I really used to like until I saw this shit. And look at how dark and demonic his face is. Then you got him sitting here cheesing, but also I see a little bit of fear in his eyes. Yeah, dynamic duo. Interesting. Then you got this one with the man and the woman just smiling and cheesing wearing this shit. Like, people have no idea how valuable their souls are until they lose them. Your soul is the greatest currency that you could ever have that you should never sell or trade. Then for them to put a rose like this is something that's beautiful when it definitely is not. So yeah, Jaguar, again, shout out to you for speaking your truth and exposing this shit because it needs to get exposed. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole group.
So Jaguar Wright out here claiming that Oprah Winfrey has packed up her bags and left the country after Diddy's recent arrest. And she's alleging that Oprah is running scared because of her alleged connections to an industry-wide ring. According to Jaguar, Diddy's arrest is just the tip of the iceberg, and this could expose a whole underground network that includes some of the.
And I showed y'all this video with the Diddler, Kevin Hart, and Usher. And Kevin didn't want to be anywhere near that bed. And the Diddler on there talking about him and Usher used to wake up and fight over the Frosted Flakes. And I showed y'all what Frosted Flakes meant. So yeah, all these celebrities that y'all look up to, that y'all think are such positive people who have been involved in this shit, in my opinion, they're all just as guilty. And when Kevin was questioned about his attendance at the freak offs and about his involvement with the diddler and the freak offs. He didn't deny or agree. He just dismissed it, just like Rihanna did when she said that's crazy. His response literally was, "You're asking the wrong person the wrong question." Not, "No, I didn't go. No, I didn't participate." He never denied it. He just said, "You're asking the wrong person."
The most powerful people in Hollywood, including Oprah herself. Jaguar has been really vocal lately, and she's saying that Oprah is trying to get ahead of the fallout by distancing herself from the drama. But it doesn't stop there. According to Jaguar, Oprah knows she could be the next to go down because allegedly she was working behind the scenes to recruit victims for Diddy and other industry deviants. And we all know Oprah has a long track record of rubbing elbows with some sketchy individuals, from John of God to Harvey Weinstein.
Oprah's former faith healer, known as John the God, was sentenced to an additional 99 years. Guilty for SAing and over 600 women and young.
Did y'all hear that? He was accused of sexually assaulting and having sex with over 600 women and called himself the God, just as I just showed y'all Jay-Z called himself the peace God. There's nothing peaceful about a predator, Jay-Z. There's never been anything peaceful about your energy until you had kids. And I fear for your kids. I really do. I fear for their future. I fear for, God forbid, if you actually did touch Blue Ivy, like the alleged rumors are saying you've been. I fear for your children because of the agreement you have made with Satan and Satanist. Have you already condemned your own kids? Will Blue Ivy, since she is the oldest, will she be able to be rescued, or is she going to inherit your satanic connections? Or will she be the generational curse breaker? I pray that she is. But it's been alleged that he has touched even his own daughter, allegedly.
I can't even read this. He also ran a baby trafficking operation.
A baby trafficking operation. Let me show y'all. Let me not even tell you. Let me show you. I'm going to show you this. Okay. Child sacrifice among European witches. Okay. In studying the cult of witches, plain and irrefragable proof is found that the personage called by Christian writers the devil was considered by the witches themselves to be God incarnate as a man. To this deity, they made sacrifices of various kinds, the most important of such sacrifices being that of a child. The child was either a witch's child or was unbaptized. In other words, it did not belong to the Christian church. But I already told you that Christianity has no foundation biblically in the Bible, nor to do with actual Christ. This was an important point and was the reason why unbaptized children were thought to be in more danger from witches than the baptized. If there be any children unbaptized or not guarded with the sign of the cross or orisons, then the witches may or do catch them from their mother's sides in the night or out in their cradles, or otherwise kill them with their ceremonies. These dark witches that pledge to Satan, I've actually seen videos where they proudly say, we take our God-given gift of being able to give birth and we pledge to Lucifer and Satan by unaliving our own children. It's the sacrifice that they give to appease their low vibrational deities. So it would make perfect sense that what they just shared in this video, that this man, in conjunction with Oprah, allegedly ran a baby trafficking operation. And if y'all remember, Oprah adopted a bunch of kids from Africa some years ago. And those kids even spoke out and said that some of them said they were forcibly taken from their families, that Oprah had promised. It was Oprah and it was also Angelina Jolie. They had adopted all these kids from Africa, and Africa is, the motherland, and Africa holds a lot of deep spirituality and deep spiritual roots. And those kids had spoken out that they had been sexually abused after being adopted by Oprah and Angelina Jolie, and that they were not even allowed to speak to their biological parents. They were supposed to have been, the whole purpose was, Oprah and Angelina Jolie said that, and Madonna too, that they were rescuing these children from third world countries that were impoverished. And the goal was to bring them to the United States to get an education, and that they were to send money to their families. And those kids grew up and spoke their truth and said that they not only never got to see their families, they were cut off from their families. The families never received any money for allowing the kids to leave. The kids were completely isolated from their actual relatives, and they were essayed while under the guardianship of Oprah, Madonna, and Angelina Jolie, allegedly. So it's not surprising that Oprah would have allegedly participated in a baby trafficking operation with this guy calling himself the God, who also essayed and fucked over 600 women and children, which is disgusting as hell.
Oprah isn't the only one calling out her own connection to Diddy. Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, also recently publicly slammed Oprah and other powerful friends of Diddy for staying quiet. But Gene took it a step further, reminding everyone of Oprah's ties to other convicted criminals. In fact,
for those that don't know, that picture of her with the white man is Harvey Weinstein.
Seemingly alleged that Oprah, Diddy, Weinstein, and Jeffrey Epstein were all part of the same circle.
And these are the same men that Jaguar has been speaking out against, and who Epstein, she went to his island to rescue young girls, and she has definitely spoken out against Harvey Weinstein as well.
Now, we know Diddy has been accused of running a disturbing industry ring involving young people, but according to multiple sources, it's unlikely he was acting alone. And one big name rumored to know what was going on, if not worse, is Oprah. And now even more.
And now, it sheds light on, and it makes sense why she had those molesters on her show. Because like I said, nothing about that is protecting a child. If anything, it's allowing those people it's you bringing them on your show so that people will feel sympathy for them, instead of holding them accountable and getting them help and keeping them away from children. It all comes full circle, and it all makes sense now. Because how are you friends with a man that essayed over 600 women and children, and that you allegedly assisted in trafficking babies for the purpose of those babies being sacrificed to Moloch and to the Baphomet and all these other low vibrational deities? I just went into detail about Moloch on my last live. That's why when I was hearing about this stuff in the YouTube streets about her allegedly being a part of Diddy's, not only his freak offs, but the actual, I got to pull my shorts down because they were going up a little too high, but the actual trafficking of children, the actual trafficking of babies. Children should be allowed to be innocent. They should never have to worry about abuse of any level. Definitely not sexual abuse. See, when you abuse a child sexually and convince that child that what you're doing to them is love, you are literally brainwashing that child into believing that the manipulation you're doing is okay. And then you empower that child to grow up to be an adult like the diddler. And I 100% believe that his mother created him to be the monster that he is now. I really do, especially after seeing that video of them kissing each other on the lips, which was just so fucking disturbing.
Disturbing claims are coming to light. Allie Carter, who claims she's a victim of a Hollywood.
So this lady here is the same. That's the attorney I was just showing y'all. The one that was on the Pierce Morgan interview, and had basically professionally went in on Vlad, the culture vulture, for his very intense dismissive nature against Jaguar after Jaguar spoke her truth.
Ring made some explosive claims alleging that she saw Oprah in those secret underground.
And not only Allie Carter, but the other girl, oh, what's her name? There's or is it her? No, that is Allie Carter is the one who said that she saw Oprah. There was a TikTok video where she said that she saw Oprah as she was being trafficked.
Tunnels the elite supposedly used.
This is video 88 part B, referencing Oprah Winfrey.
Second time I met Oprah was at the Playboy Mansion.
But are all these
And that poor girl, she looks like she's so heavily medicated from all the trauma. I send her healing too. That poor girl.
allegations about Oprah and her connection to Diddy just gossip, or is there real proof out there that she helped recruit victims? What exactly?
Wait, was that Kim and J-Lo? Hold up. Was that Kim and J-Lo?
I met Oprah was at the Playboy Mansion.
But are all
She said she met Oprah at the Playboy Mansion, and allegedly there's tunnels under Diddy's properties that lead to the Playboy Mansion.
about Oprah and her connection to Diddy just gossip, or is there real proof?
Yes, this is Kim Kardashian, and that looks like J-Lo, the same one who's being investigated for that 1999 shooting. Unless I'm mistaken, that does look like J-Lo.
Proof out there that she helped recruit victims. What exactly did Jaguar Wright reveal about Oprah?
And Oprah, what are you doing with the whore of the Kardashians and the side chick of Diddy's that allegedly participated in the 1999 shooting at the club?
Reaction to Diddy's arrest. Let's break it down.
This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must
Right.
stop.
See, Oprah's been involved in numerous controversies throughout her career, from claims that she blackballs and destroys the careers of everyone who criticizes her, to much more disturbing allegations of alleged involvement in human trafficking. Multiple celebs have publicly slammed Oprah for covering up their friends, like Harvey Weinstein. Actress Rose McGowan called out Oprah for being friends with Weinstein and Russell Simmons and wrote, "I'm glad more is seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't." From being pals with Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain. She is as fake as...
And that's what I've heard about her for at least the past 10 years, is that her whole image of being this advocate and wanting to help people heal, her platform that she has is built on a foundation of lies and bullshit. And Oprah, Harvey Weinstein's already gotten his karma and his all that, and Epstein is gone off the face of this earth. But you and Russell are definitely not getting away. I just need y'all to know that. It's going to be Jay-Z, it's going to be her, and it's going to be Russell. And Russell, you can go to Timbuktu, my nigga. They are still going to lock your ass up.
They come. Seal shared a photo of Oprah and Harvey Weinstein on Instagram with a message, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution." And then
Exactly, like she's putting on this fake savior role when you've been a part of it.
Caption, Seal wrote,
He said, "Oh, I forgot. That's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially, I'm assuming that might say raping young starry-eyed actresses who in turn had no idea what they were getting into. My bad. Sanctimonious Hollywood. Holly fucking weird."
I forgot. That's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses who in turn had no idea what they were getting into. My bad. Hashtag sanctimonious Hollywood. The more Oprah tried to distance herself from Weinstein, the more skeletons started falling out of her closet. And at one point, TMZ dropped a bombshell, revealing that Oprah was one of the first people to call Weinstein after the SA accusations came out, offering him support.
Okay, so now everything makes sense. Now it's completely full circle. So you're showing support to molesters on your own show, literally on your own network, OWN. And then as soon as he gets arrested, You make a call to show him support. Ofra, can someone answer this question for me? Who supports a sexual predator? Why did you call him to show him support if you're not like him? Birds of a feather most definitely flock together. Because I don't know any other woman in her right mind that would show support to a motherfucker like this, let alone be friends with him. And she was friends with him over 20 years, just like she was friends with Epstein. She was friends with the Diddler and friends with Jay-Z. Your circle that you surround yourself with are a reflection of you. So if everyone that you surround yourself with are sexual predators, then what the fuck does that make you, Miss? I'm going to allow molesters a platform on my channel so that people will understand how they become, so that you can justify their fucked up behavior. Bitch, fuck you.
He reported that back in 2017, when the news first broke about Weinstein's crimes, Oprah personally reached out to tell him he needed to defend himself. A source who had close ties to Weinstein during that period told TMZ that Weinstein repeatedly told his team and friends that Oprah called him and said he needed to speak out and defend himself. And when he did, she would be right there supporting him. The source shared that a number of powerful people called to voice their support for Weinstein, but Weinstein singled out Oprah over and over. Of course,
no, because they were friends for over 20 fucking years.
Oprah's team.
How the hell is your bestie a whole sexual predator, but you're not? Come on, man.
Was quick to deny the claims, telling TMZ that she didn't initiate the call. It was actually someone from Weinstein's camp who reached out to her. However, Oprah couldn't exactly deny her connection to Weinstein, considering they'd been friends for 20 years.
Right.
Before his crimes were exposed, Oprah had no problem.
And that right there, I'm sorry, in my opinion, that makes her guilty. I can't think of any friend of mine. I really don't even call people friends anymore. You're either family or an associate. If I found out that someone who I called a friend was a sexual predator, they would have zero connection to me for the rest of their living life. And I most definitely would not be reaching out to them after they have been convicted and arrested for sexual assault. There would be no support. It's you rotten hell, you nasty motherfucker, period. That's what it would be. There would be no support and friendship.
Their friendship. Over the years, they were often spotted together at events hosted by the Weinstein Company, with Oprah proudly celebrating Weinstein's success. She also worked on several films distributed by his company, like The Butler and The Great Debaters. And Weinstein frequently praised Oprah in interviews.
I know the gal's, her great friend, but and it's my movie, Lee Daniels, The Butler. But the fact that Oprah didn't get a Golden Globe nomination is shocking.
But once all the allegations against Weinstein surfaced, Oprah quickly downplayed their friendship, insisting she had no knowledge of his actions. During a 2018
And ain't no way, if you've been friends with him for 20 years, that you have no knowledge of his actions. You're just saying that to cover your own ass. Anybody, I have people who I love dearly, who we've called each other friends for over 20 years. I know them motherfuckers just like they know me. But if I found out that any of them had a hand in assaulting a child or an adult, one, friendship over, connection over, and I want to see you be held accountable, and I want to see you locked up, and I want to see justice for the people that you've hurt, simply because I know what it's like to be that person. So for her to act like, oh, I had no knowledge of his actions, how the fuck you didn't if you were friends with him for over 20 years? Now, I know some people can hide shit. Like I told y'all, my sister's biological father that did shit to her. But honestly, when I found out, I wasn't even surprised, because he always kind of had creepy energy anyway. But ain't no way you were friends with him that long and didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Ain't no way.
18 episode of Gwyneth Paltrow's podcast, Oprah admitted they were on friendly terms. However, she claimed she had no idea about what was going on behind the scenes.
Follow it that closely, but I had people online saying, "Oh, I knew about Harvey. I should have known." Well, first of all, I wasn't in this world. I was in Chicago in my own little world. Was I friendly with Harvey? Yes, I was friendly with Harvey. Was I, in association with him for, you know, the Butler movie that we had done.
You
Yes,
can't even get that out without stuttering and lying.
I was. But of course, I didn't know any of this was going on.
And on top of claiming she had no idea what Weinstein was up to, Oprah also tried to play the victim and said Weinstein had bullied her.
Harvey was a bully, and that if Harvey's on the phone, you don't want to take the call because you're going to get bullied in some way.
Oh my God, she sounds so full of shit that I just cannot. I can't. I'm going to skip forward to this part. The guy that was calling himself the God. Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true. Haven't been raided because I seen that where they said her house got raided or arrested. Just sanitizing and self-distancing with the rest of the world. Stay safe. Interesting that you're self-distancing as shit's hitting the fan. Why aren't you supporting your friends, the Diddler and Harvey Weinstein? Why would you distance yourself if you don't have anything to do with it and you have no knowledge and you're not guilty? Why are you distancing yourself?
Twitter, calling it an awful fake thing. It's not true, Oprah wrote. Haven't been raided or arrested. But the rumors didn't stop there, as Oprah's name was also linked to Brazilian self-proclaimed medium and convicted criminal John of God. John operated a spiritual healing center in Brazil for years before being sentenced to 63 years.
And that's interesting how predators, this is the definition of blasphemy. For those who say taking the Lord's name in vain is blasphemy, no, this by definition is blasphemy. When you know that behind closed doors, you are diabolical and you are doing diabolical things, but you're using healing and spirituality as the cover to, as Oprah said herself, to manipulate and get people to trust you. So you ran a, what they call a compound, essentially a cult, where you claim to be a healer and you labeled yourself celebrity healer John of God, once featured by Oprah. Oprah, why do you keep supporting pedophiles? Oprah, why do you keep supporting molesters and sexual abusers? Have you asked yourself that? I understand that you went through a lot yourself, and that's what makes it sickening, is that you are a survivor of sexual abuse. So when I hear you say things like, well, if they're any good at what they do, you won't even realize you're being molested. It sounds like maybe you enjoyed your abuse a bit too much, and that maybe as much as you have pretended to be an advocate, that you have not actually done the work to heal, because there's no one in their right mind who's going to support an abuser, advocate for them, show them support, and then tell them to, defend themselves. A real person's going to tell them, hey, you need to get help and be held accountable for what you did, not support them in their filth, in their sickness, as you clearly have done multiple times.
And first, multiple women. Before his arrest, though, John appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and Oprah even traveled to Brazil to meet him, later saying she had a profound experience during their conversation.
This is an interview I wasn't sure would ever happen. One of the most famous spiritual healers in the world rarely talks to anyone on camera. John of God agreed to sit down with me under a mango tree on the grounds of the casa. The first time I saw it today, I was humbled by the experience. Because a little bit of this belongs.
See, and this is also why I don't follow people. This is why I don't do churches. This is why I don't do people's personal spiritual groups, because I got invited to one recently. And at first I really did consider it, but then I was like, no, because it feels too much like a cult, like what I came out of. And the people that invited me didn't understand. Well, no, this person, she talks about the same thing as you talk about. She talks about frequency. I don't care. I don't know her. She could be just like him. Another deceiver, another manipulator, another person that uses spirituality and healing as a cover for being disgusting as people. That's why I'm very upfront and authentic. I don't need to hide behind shit. I've been open and honest about my past. I've been open and honest about what's happened to me as a child and as an adult. And like Jaguar, I'm definitely an advocate against this shit and want to help people heal by, one, admitting what happened to you and not repressing and suppressing and trying to deny that it happened to you, because you cannot heal what you're hiding. If you hide it, if you suppress it, there's literally no way to actually heal it. So it's not surprising. I mean, hell, Oprah's had molesters on her show, and now you're, publicizing this John of God, clearly a false prophet who also uses spirituality to gain the trust of people who are hurting, who are actually seeking the Most High. This is why joining cults and churches and certain communities can be so dangerous, because you start to blindly follow another person's belief of what God is, instead of having your own. The piece of hair on my lip that fell out of my hair, I feel it curly. Instead of having your own relationship with the Most High and knowing who the Most High is, you just blindly follow people like this, not even realizing that they're manipulating you and sexually assaulting you. Because they'll even convince you that sex with them is of God. And, you can reach God by letting me bust it wide open. Come on, man. And I've literally heard that bullshit in the churches I even have grew up in, and pastors during meetings, convincing women that if they have sex with them, that makes them somehow closer to God, and all this other fucking bullshit. A lot like the Thelema religion that was also founded and started by Aleister Crowley, which is, matter of fact, for those who may not have seen my previous lives, let me show you that real quick, because it all ties in. It's all connected. Thelema. Thelema is a Western esoteric and occult social and spiritual philosophy and new religious movement founded in the early 1900s by Aleister Crowley, an English writer, mystic, occultist, and ceremonial magician. Central to Thelema is the concept of discovering and following one's true will against do as thou will, a unique purpose that transcends ordinary desires. Crowley's system begins with the Book of the Law, a text he maintained was dictated to him by a non-corporeal entity named Awias or whatever. This work outlines key principles, including the axiom, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, emphasizing personal freedom and the pursuit of one's true path guided by love. Yeah. But again, people want to call those of us who can see conspiracy theorists. Okay.
A part of this belongs to you.
However, after the allegations of SA,
And you heard what he said, a part of this belongs to you. I wonder why, Oprah. How could a part of what he's doing, which he's using Reiki in the worst way? See, I use Reiki to help people heal. He's using Reiki to manipulate people into believing that he's some sort of savior while also violating their bodies. Blasphemy, literally blasphemy.
in CA against John became public, Oprah deleted all interviews with him from her site and released a note stating that she hoped justice would be served.
So yeah, once he got exposed, now you delete all of your connections to him, much like you did with Harvey Weinstein. And now what you're doing with the Diddler. You distance yourself from those who get exposed because you don't want to be exposed. But let me tell you something, Oprah, you are not getting away. You can run to Africa, you can run to Japan, you can run to Hawaii. God is going to make sure that you get arrested as well, because you have used a platform claiming to be an advocate for women and children who have been abused, but yet behind closed doors, you're friends with all these disgusting men who have been accused and even convicted of sexual assault. So yeah, that says everything about you, because again, the circle you keep is a reflection of you. Birds of a feather most definitely flock together.
And here's where things get even more disturbing. When Oprah met with John of God, she had already opened her all-girls school in South Africa. And then in 2007,
she had already opened her all-girls school in Africa. So let's see what a trafficker and an essay person would do. They're going to recruit young girls, just like Jaguar talked about Naomi Campbell bringing the minor models to Jay-Z's house for a Rick Ross video that they ended up getting trafficked and taken to islands, taken to Epstein Island, taken to all these different places, their passports being taken, their passports being held. So it makes sense why she would go over to Africa and start schools and adopt, allegedly, adopting these young girls. Now, this says matron cleared of abuse at Oprah Winfrey School, says case left her humiliated. Prosecutors had accused Tiny Virginia Makopo of trying to kiss and fondle pupils at TV host Leadership Academy for Girls near Johannesburg in 2007. And she definitely looks very disturbed.
One of the school matrons was charged with inappropriate behavior with several of the girls.
We arrested a former employee of who was working at Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges, including assault, indecent assault, as well as soliciting girls under the age to commit indecent assault.
So she got arrested for assault and for soliciting girls. And this is at your school. Okay.
All these scandals and controversies, Oprah still built a reputation as a dedicated philanthropist. She's even raked up tons of awards and honors, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2013. Meanwhile, more celebs started spilling the tea on Oprah's shady side, including Diddy's biggest enemy, 50 Cent, who's been dragging her for years. 50 has even accused Oprah of having an agenda against black men, unless, of course, they're allegedly part of the same Illuminati circle she's rumored to be in. At one point, 50 went as far as to call Oprah an Oreo, claiming she's black on the outside, but aligns herself with the white perspective on the inside. But it's not just 50 who feels this way about Oprah. Snoop Dogg made similar comments about Oprah and her bestie, Gayle King, after Gayle made some disrespectful allegations about the late Kobe Bryant, just weeks after Kobe died back in January.
Don't nobody care about Gayle. And quiet as it's kept, I used to have a lot of respect for Snoop until it's been rumored that he allegedly participated in the freak offs and that he allegedly was one of the so-called celebrities that has witnessed people being essayed at Diddy's freak off parties.
Understand what the goal is at that point. Because you know what Kobe means to the actual culture at the same time. Like they knew what Michael Jackson meant. Right. If somebody don't know what you're trying to do when the men are dead.
And then 50 made a pretty bold prediction, saying that Oprah and Gayle's shady actions would eventually cost them all their supporters.
Right, so you'll keep playing with people that are not here. That's going to them up. We're going to start to not like them in an intense way. We're doing that. It's not the right thing to do.
So involvement were dismissed as just rumors and something to roll your eyes at.
Hold on.
But there is a big seducing that goes on, and the pattern of that seducing.
Then you have to wonder, why does she keep focusing on the big seducing? Why aren't you focusing on this shouldn't have happened to these victims? And what can we do to help the victims heal? Not you continuing to talk about the seducing from the predators to the victims. Again, it feels, and I'm an empath, it feels like she's definitely advocating for the predators, and which would explain why she's been friends with so many of them.
It's important enough for me to take the relation for.
So how come Oprah has nothing to say about Harvey Weinstein, Russell Simmons, or Diddy's patterns?
Right.
Well, word on the street is that the reason Oprah hasn't said a word about Diddy and his victim is because she might be more involved in this entire operation than we think. We all knew it was only a matter of time before Oprah got pulled into Diddy's legal drama. Now, at first, stories about Oprah's alleged involvement were dismissed as just rumors and something to roll your eyes at. But now things are taking a darker turn. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, is stepping into the spotlight, publicly calling out Oprah and other influential friends Diddy for their silence amidst the chaos. Gene also name dropped Oprah's best friend Gayle King and even Jay-Z, suggesting they all ran in the same elite circles with Diddy.
They're not going to say nothing. Man, I was watching the other day. Listen to me. They did that. They on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King and Nate and that other guy, they were talking about, and they showed the him beating Cassie, and they showed him the apology and the whole 9 yards. All they said is that we have commentary about that, but we got to go to a commercial. They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, damn, he still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let them back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce. Oh man, let God handle it.
And again, shout out to Gene Deal, because he's absolutely right. Like I said, the people who have been publicly asked, like Kevin Hart, Rihanna, all of them, none of them have said it didn't happen. The only person who has publicly said that they didn't witness the diddler doing shit, Claudia Jordan and Stevie J. And Claudia Jordan is best friends with Stevie J's baby mama, Mimi from Love and Hip Hop. And Claudia Jordan also threatened to sue Jaguar Wright when Jaguar spilled the beans that she was Diddy's girl. And I remember seeing her Instagram live because I joined it, because I follow her. And her and Mimi went on Instagram live to clear their names, to say that we never witnessed any of this when we were at Diddy's house, when we were at Diddy's parties. And then Claudia went as far as to say that she never dated Diddy, even though there's photos circulating from her old MySpace account of her sitting on Diddy's lap, which I even showed y'all a few lives ago, and it made me look at her in a completely different light. And again, all of my commentary is alleged in my opinion. This is my fucking opinion. I really looked up to Claudia until this moment. I'm gonna be honest, because I met her in real life here in Houston last November. As a matter of fact, I met her the same weekend of my birthday, which my birthday's coming up Saturday. So a year ago, I met her when TGIF was here in Houston recording at Fox Studios at Fox O. And she seemed to be so genuine when I met her. She seemed to be so sweet and so down to earth. But when she came for Jaguar and talked about suing her, it's like, how are you going to sue someone for speculation of images that you put out there? Then on top of that, what made it even less believable, in my opinion, Claudia threatened to sue Jaguar Wright, talking about keep my name out your mouth, and I never dated him, and she's crazy, and blah, blah, blah. Claudia, you're a survivor of rape. You talked about it. You even talked about it on Conscious TV's channel, and we all felt sorry for you, and we all rallied behind you and advocated you. I remember I was one of the main people in the comments like, oh my God, thank you for sharing your story and your bravery. And I'm praying for you, only to find out that you were cool with Diddy, and you were so cool with Diddy that you were sitting on his lap, and then had the nerve to lie and say, and if this is again my opinion, I felt like she was lying when she said that she never dated him and she was just a fan. The fuck you mean you were a fan? You spent time with this man at his house. You and Mimi said it, that y'all had been to his parties, that y'all had been to his house, but y'all left early and you never witnessed any of the bad shit that Cassie reported, that other women are reporting. How can you defend or basically say, hey, I was around, but I didn't date him, when you're sitting on his lap? I don't have any photos of me sitting on the lap of any of my exes. Not even the last one I was with for over 5 years, who I lost the baby by. Not one photo of me sitting on that nigga's lap. Not one. And we were supposed to got married. So you mean to tell me that you were sitting on Diddy's lap, but y'all were not fucking, y'all were not a couple. Then you go to great lengths on Instagram to quote unquote clear your name with Mimi, which is Stevie J's baby mama. And Stevie J is again the only, and Stevie J was at Diddy's house the day it was raided, by the way. Wonder why that was. Why was he there with Diddy's sons? That's a whole nother live. And you, again, the company you keep is a reflection of you. You're friends with Mimi. You're friends with Stevie J. You two are the only celebrities who have said that you did not witness anything, but yet you spent time with them. And then, like I said, you come for Jaguar because she speaks the truth, because she said you were Diddy's girl and that your best friend, Cynthia White, was allegedly Jay-Z's side chick. And I remember hearing about Cynthia White well before Jaguar ever talked about it. There was rumors all in social media about her mysterious death after people were exposing that she was pregnant with Jay-Z's baby, which means that if indeed she was pregnant with Jay-Z's baby, he killed, allegedly unalived her and the seed of his that she was carrying. So it doesn't really make sense to me. Stevie J saying what he said makes sense because allegedly he was another power bottom to Diddy. So Stevie doesn't want his truth to get exposed, even though his ex-wife Jocelyn publicly said that she used to strap him. So, you know, in the video that I watched of Jaguar speaking about Jocelyn and saying, well, you know, I heard Jocelyn is mean with the strap. Jocelyn said that herself after her and Stevie got into it. Because again, Jocelyn is a Scorpio who hasn't evolved to her healing. And again, a Scorpio can be your best friend and worst enemy. So if you fuck with a Scorpio who hasn't evolved, who hasn't done healing, oh, she's going to turn on your ass once you turn on her. So, I mean, Jocelyn said that shit, what, 7 years ago? That she used to strap Stevie J. She said it on Love and Hip Hop during their reunion. That's what triggered the whole fight between her, Stevie J, and Althea and Benzino, who was allegedly Stevie's bestie, who allegedly him and Stevie and Kirk, which is Rashida's husband, that they all were participating in men-only adult activities. See, again, I follow people and pay attention. I'm a Scorpio. We're silent observers. And then I'm an empath. I feel energy. I absolutely believe that Stevie is down low and that is the real reason why he shits on women, from Mimi to Jocelyn to Faith. Every woman who's tried to love him, he has shitted on, because deep down inside, he likes the bussy. Just like the Diddler, just like Ray J, just like Safari, just like A1. These men don't actually like women. They like men, but they don't want their truth to be exposed. So they hide behind, you know, women as beards and end up unfortunately doing shit like the Diddler and Jay-Z have been accused of.
Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter,
right,
would you let God handle it?
And that's the shit right there. I'm glad that Gene Deal said that, because he's like, people be sweeping shit under the rug and saying, oh, I'm gonna let God handle it. And again, if it was your child, if it was your sister, your aunt, your mother, your niece, your granddaughter, would you be saying, oh, I'm gonna let God handle it? Or would you be handling it? Or better yet, would you become the rescue advocate that Jaguar has been? See, that's why it really bothered me when Claudia came for Jaguar, because Claudia, if you were at these parties and witnessed any of this shit and did nothing to help those women after you yourself are as an SA survivor, it says a lot about you. And why in the world would you come for Jaguar about this rumor about you and Diddy? Because a hit dog will holler. If it's not real, why'd you get so mad? Why did you threaten to sue her? Why did you have to do multiple Instagram lives as a PSA to clear your name? Then in the same vein, in the same Instagram live, you talked about how Diddy called you from jail, called your phone 67 times, I believe you said, and was threatening to unalive you and was going off on you saying, why are our pictures on the internet? Miss, I was just a fan of his. We never dated, but yet he has to know you on a personal level to have your phone number to call you from jail. I'm gonna be honest. When I'm done with a person, I usually change my phone number because I don't even want you to have access to me. And that's why my cousin will tease me about having 50, 11 different phone numbers. Because when I'm done with a motherfucker, I'm all the way done. I'm Scorpio. There won't be a phone number for you to dial to go off on me and threaten me and then turn right around and ask me what I'm wearing. And according to her IG live, that's what she said. Yeah, he's crazy. He called my phone 67 times. And then when I finally answered, he went off me, asked me why were all of our pictures on the internet? Why are you telling people that we were together? And she's like, and I haven't been telling nobody that. I told people that I'm a fan of yours. So yeah, it sounds like y'all might have planned, this little PSA for you to say, bars, for you to say if he ever were to get locked up. Because again, how the fuck does he have your phone number to call you from jail? Because those pictures were from your MySpace page. And all of us who used to be on MySpace knows that MySpace ain't been popping in like damn 20 years. So that means you had to have had a consistent communication and connection with this man in order for him to still have your phone number and be able to call you from prison or call you from jail and go off on you. And yeah, that's absolutely psychotic to call someone's phone 65, 67 times until they answer, and then you're angrily asking her, why are our pictures on the internet and why are you telling people about us, miss, we were never together, but threatened to sue Jack? See, again, Scorpio, I'm looking at all perspectives. I had such high respect for Claudia until now. I'm just being honest. I really did. And now it's like, damn, were you a part of what the Diddler did, and that's why you're going to such great lengths to try to denounce a friendship the same way Oprah's doing with Harvey Weinstein and Epstein, and now with the Diddlers, distancing herself? But y'all want to call Gene Deal crazy. You want to call Jaguar Wright crazy. You want to call people like me who can see through this bullshit crazy. But yet you clearly had a relationship with that man. And if she sees this live and she blocks me, I don't give a shit. I only followed you because I thought you were someone that you clearly are not. And you might want to keep Jag's name out your mouth, Claudia, because you're making yourself look awfully guilty. You and Stevie J. And like I said, Stevie J he's definitely going to be an advocate and support of Diddy because of all of the freak off videos that he allegedly is on. Yeah, which is your best friend's baby daddy. Okay.
All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him.
Right.
Because it would mess up their brand.
Right.
It would mess up their brand.
Gene Dale just hit the nail on the head. That's the exact reason why Claudia and Mimi went on this whole PSA on Instagram Live. A bunch of old bitches that are single, that don't know nigga want, because y'all are fucked up. Y'all went to great lengths to say that you never witnessed any of what these other women are saying happen at the Diddler's house, and how you don't support him now, and he's not your friend, and y'all were never together because you knew it would hurt your brand. And I hate to burst your bubble, it's already hurt your brand. Because again, I was a definite supporter of you until now. That's why I tuned in and watched your live. And I'm pretty sure you saw that I tuned in and was watching it. Because I wanted to see for myself. I don't want to just take the word of these YouTube streets. I wanted to see for myself, is this same woman that I met just last November really this fucking two-faced? And let me tell you something else, Claudia. People at Fox Soul was talking shit about you while we were there being a part of the live audience during TGIF when y'all were supposed to have gotten syndicated. And it is my opinion that you and Armand Wiggins completely destroyed that show. It wasn't just Al Reynolds. It was your arrogance and your ego, like you made the show. And funny how after Funky Dineva left the show, it went completely to shit like he knew it would. So now you're trying to get popping on YouTube and nobody's really fucking with you because you're old, your content's boring. I mean, I initially subscribed to your channel, but even I got tired of watching a bunch of old bitches that are hella bougie in Dallas talk about how they can't find a good man and all this other shit. Well, it could be Dharma, dark karma. It could be. Because I don't believe you when you say you didn't date Diddy. I don't. And again, this is my channel and this is my opinion. I don't believe you for a second. You were sitting on that man's lap. You may as well have been sitting on his dick. I mean, that's my opinion. And then you go to great lengths to publicize how y'all didn't date. Because like he just said, you knew if you supported him, it would mess up your brand. Then you use Conscious TV as an advocate to basically say the things publicly that you didn't want to say, but that you allegedly said behind closed doors about Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva, and that you allegedly were the messiest one on set. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Again, I was there at Fox Soul Studios right here in Houston last November, the weekend of my birthday, after I met y'all. And Funky Dineva's disposition of distancing himself from you and Al during the breaks makes perfect sense now. And Funky, you were smart to do what you did in leaving that network, because as we all saw, it went completely to shit after that. And it was said that the main producer, the little old lady, was mean as hell and two-faced, and that she didn't like your ass either. A lot of people there said not to fuck with you when I was considering, potentially maybe collaborating with you. A lot of those people were talking shit about you during the breaks and before and after everything was being, captured and recorded. And yeah, I was warned, don't fuck with her because she's two-faced and she'll turn on you as soon as you don't agree with her. And allegedly, that's what you allegedly did to Al Reynolds. Now, Al Reynolds was also not innocent, but that was one of my favorite shows. And it just showed me a different side to you. And Aries can be very vindictive, very defensive, very manipulative, very sneaky. Those were all things that I was told you were when I was there on set at Fox Soul last November. So, ma'am, a lot of us ain't believing the bullshit you trying to sell. Because you just trying to not fuck up your brand.
Brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff.
And now things.
Hold up. I just now see the comment. Linda, thank you so much for tuning back in, my love. She says, hey, y'all. Hey, Miss D, did you see the video with Jaguar and Sean Atwood along with this guy, Courtney Burgess? I want to know who in the hell is this guy anyway. I haven't seen it yet. I probably will watch it tomorrow. Well, today, it's exactly after midnight. I probably will watch it today because one, I do support Jag and I want to see it. And two, because of the comments that were in her live earlier this morning, I definitely want to see it. But yeah, I'm personally saying what I'm saying about Claudia, because one thing I can't stand fake ass females. That's why I don't fuck with nobody. That's why when I go out by myself. Women, and shout out to Jaguar. I can understand why you vet people the way you do. People will be so fucking fake and smile in your face and then talk cash money shit about you behind your back. Lord knows I've experienced that this past year. Even one of my longtime friends or person I considered a friend, and we've been friends for over 25 years, same shit. Lying, gossiping, talking shit, but every time we hang out, you smiling, kikiing, calling me sis, calling me this, that, and the third. Bitches can be fake as fuck. And I prayed, I said, Lord, send me people who are genuine like me, who have no agendas, who aren't two-faced and who are healed, so they don't try to compare, because that's the other thing. When a woman's intimidated by you, when they're intimidated by your success, when they're intimidated by your skill set, your gifts, your talents, oh, they'll befriend you just to hate on you. Or they'll do like Claudia did, where instead of you as an adult having a conversation with Jaguar, you decided to go on a full-on social media smear campaign. I looked at Claudia very different when she did that. And this was before I ever saw the Piers Morgan. Hell, this was before Jaguar ever even did the Piers Morgan interview. And this was before she ever jumped into my live. That's why I stopped even liking and commenting on Claudia's content on Instagram, because I'm like, damn, she went in on Funky Dineva. She blocked him after it was alleged that she was at the center of the bullshit at Fox Soul. Then she blocked Al Reynolds when Al Reynolds didn't agree with her. Then she went in on Jaguar Wright when Jaguar exposed it. So again, Aries motherfucker, you turn on everybody that don't basically kiss your ass. And then you keep putting out content with these old ass 50-something, damn near 60-year-old women who y'all in Dallas acting all extra bougie. And yet you got mad at Jaguar for saying you were Diddy's girl when, bitch, you had pictures out there, your motherfucking self, on MySpace of you sitting on his lap. How the fuck y'all wasn't together if you was sitting on his lap? I seen your MySpace page. I looked at it. You had about 4 to 5 photos with this nigga. Then the irony of going on Instagram Live and saying you didn't witness anything at his house, which means you were at his house, so you were definitely more than a fan, and how he called you 11 times from jail, threatening to unalive you, and then at the end of the call asking you what you were wearing. But y'all didn't date, y'all didn't fuck, you were just a fan. Bitch, bye. Stop with the lies. Please stop with the lies. I cannot. She said, girl, Jag goes off on this fool. Okay, I'm going to definitely watch that, because I know if she went off on him, it was funny as hell. That shit irritated my soul. That's why I had to go on my little rant. I cannot stand the fakeness.
Take an even darker turn as rumors circulate online about Oprah allegedly being involved in this alleged ring of Hollywood deviants, with claims suggesting she helped recruit victims.
It's not really alleged when it's public knowledge that she was friends with Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, and the Diddler. And, the John of God guy I just showed y'all, who claimed to be God and had a whole compound of healing while also sliding his nasty dangling into over 600 women and unfortunately children.
While this is all still pure speculation, the stories making their rounds are hard to ignore. Some sources have even made claims about a mysterious network of tunnels connecting Diddy's house to the Playboy Mansion and the homes of other powerful figures in Hollywood. And then there's Allie Carter, a young woman who claims to be a victim of these Hollywood elites.
Right. So, like I said, Oprah, you can run, but you cannot hide. I'm going to say that. You can run, but you cannot hide from the Most High. You just can't do it. You can't. There's no possible way. There's literally no possible way. I want to show these scriptures before I play this next video. Matthew 20:16. So the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. For many are called, but few are chosen. Why do y'all think that the chosen are the ones being attacked so much? Every time I jump in Jaguar's live, there's these trolls. I don't understand the psychology behind focusing on this woman's platform simply to hate and lie and try to bring her down, except for the fact that they are descendants of the fallen. I mean, seriously, she said, and I'm going to show y'all that interview. She said, there is this one particular, and I seen that Danny chick in her last few lives. I seen her. She kept popping up. I'm like, bruh, like, she is psycho. You are a psychopath. Because you come into every one of her lives and talk shit. How miserable you must be. that you've made a career off of coming into her lives just to talk shit because she's with the man you lost. It don't make no sense. And that's how I know she's one of the chosen, because of how people come for her. Like I said, many might be called, but few are chosen. Those of us who see the truth and expose it, we are the chosen. I mean, hell, there's been trolls coming into my lives, the ones that I do from my phone. I'm on StreamYard tonight, but the ones that I do on my phone where I just jump on live, they jump in my lives talking shit about her. The live where I was capturing her singing her testimony song, which again I took it off public because I didn't realize she didn't want people to stream it. But as I was streaming that to promote it, because how that song was resonating with me and speaking to my spirit and encouraging me, all these trolls are probably, oh, she's ugly. Oh, she can't sing. Oh, I hate the song. Like, God damn, y'all really doing the most. That's how you know you're doing the Lord's will, when all these spiritual attacks start coming, and they come from every angle, but they have no power. That man that was on Jag's live yesterday morning, going in and talking shit, I was putting in the comments, I said, they don't even realize how much of their power they're giving you by continuing to give energy to hate on you and say negative things and try to get a response because they want your attention so bad. It's just like when you turn a porch light on. What comes around the light? Moths, bugs, annoying ass gnats. They're attracted to the light within you. But what they don't realize is that the more power and the more attention they give you, the more they're giving you their power, Jag. That's why I keep praying for you, because I'm like, if they're doing it on her channel and mine, and then the one woman who, what's the name of that website she talked about? I forget, but some woman that started this website stole her content, literally screen recorded her content, and then sent strikes on her channel. Do you understand that while it's annoying, Jag, be flattered, because these people are haters, are nothing more than fans in disguise, okay? So if they're constantly hating on you, it's because there is deep down something that they admire about you. And again, you're one of the chosen. That's why they're doing everything they can to try to come for you. And still they're not succeeding at it whatsoever. Okay. Now this is, I'm gonna put this in the comments for, again, because I can't hear on my end how the audio is until I go back and listen to it. That's why I put the titles in here, so that if the audio is going out while I'm reviewing these, you guys can go back and listen to it. This is the name of this video that I'm about to play, where she goes in on and exposes the movie Blink Twice. And what she's talking about has been, and I need to watch this movie too. What she's talking about that's been exposed is precisely what she has done and rescued people from, being trafficked and sexually abused. Linda says, and why in the hell hasn't the authorities investigated the school stuff in South Africa? It would have to be done by an agency that could not be paid off. Well, that's the thing. And very good comment on that. If the leaders that are over the school, like for instance, Oprah founded the schools. Well, if the people who are friends with her are predators as well, why would they send the authorities to investigate? And quiet as it's kept, I've heard for years that Child Protective Services has been involved in trafficking from friends of mine who were in the foster system. Why do you think so many foster parents sexually abuse those kids? Why do you think so many foster parents get kids? Pretend to be upstanding citizens and pretend to be advocates, when all the while behind closed doors, they're predators. That's the easiest way to, unfortunately, get to a child: through CPS, through adoption, through fostering. See, my aunt and uncle had a lot of foster kids, but to my knowledge, they never essayed any of those kids. In fact, they actually did rescue those kids from parents who had essayed them. And like I said, the foster cousin that molested me, I found out as an adult, she had been raped several times by the last foster father that she was with. And that's why my aunt and uncle had them. So there are those who are genuinely protectors of children, but then there's a lot of predators in these systems that strategically put on a false, persona to pretend to be protectors just so that they can actually carry out their predatory behavior in the dark. And it's despicable and it's disgusting.
Because people can't keep ignoring this is the real life. Right. This is the real world. All of these terrible things you don't want to acknowledge. This is reality.
And I love how she said that. This is real life. This is the real world. And all these terrible things you don't want to acknowledge are reality. Again, shout out to Jaguar. Shout out to the Queen for doing the work. Shout out to her for being an advocate, for being a rescuer, for speaking out. I don't care who doesn't like how she speaks out. This is how I feel about Jaguar. People can get mad at the way she says things, but I tell you what, it captures their attention. And sometimes when she be going off, it cracks me the fuck up. It does, because she don't give a fuck. She just call it like a TI is, as my auntie would say. But for real, y'all might not like her delivery, but she's real and she's honest and she's authentic, which is more than I can say for a lot of these other fake ass females that be all on Instagram and YouTube trying to get their struggling channels up that continue to stalk her and talk shit about her.
They fooled you into believing.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn the captions on so that if the audio is going in and out, y'all can see. Because again, I don't know until I go later and watch the playback.
That it's not. It is.
This movie called Blink Twice. And as I'm watching this movie, all I could think about is you and the stories that you've told me on and off camera. And I just had to give you a call for you to go watch this movie, Jack.
It almost looked like it was exactly what I've told you, almost word for word at times.
Right.
And that's creepy that the movie depicted the real reality of what she and others have experienced. Oh, let me take the comment down so y'all can see the captions. Because again, I don't know if the audio is going in and out. This woman has been through so much trauma since her childhood, teenage years, young adult years, and yet found the strength to be an advocate and help others even after they came for and took her son from her. And people still have the nerve to talk shit. And these very people that are talking shit, I really don't think have followed her journey, especially the way that I have. Like I said, I really discovered, I listened to her as a teenager, young adult, as an artist, and her voice, her singing voice is absolutely immaculate. But I really started paying attention to her vocal, her vocal speaking voice, the more Storm Monroe had her on his channel. And never once did I feel like she was lying. And when they called her crazy, I knew deep down inside she wasn't crazy, but that she had sustained a lot of trauma. And excessive sustained trauma results in PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. That's why she has outbursts. That's why she will get really angry, because I was diagnosed with that too after I was raped. And again, I was raped by my ex-fiance, and I was date raped, and I was molested as a child and abused. So it makes sense. Again, they may not like the way she says things, but it does get people's attention. And she is being real. And she's spoken about her past, and she's spoken about the things that she's done as a dominatrix, as all of that. But she has also rescued people who have been trafficked. Linda says, that's right. CPS, DSS, and the federal government are all involved, mainly because these agencies do not have any oversight, agency policing them. Now that needs to change. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why when kids end up in the system, they always end up damaged. Everyone I know in real life who was a foster kid, they all have the same story of being SA'd from the moment they were taken from their family. And some of those kids, unfortunately, were SA'd by their own parents and then went into the system and got SA'd again by another parent that was supposed to have been their protector. And it's very sad. It really is.
Shout out to Zoe Kravitz. Hold on, I gotta show y'all something. I'm looking for my Sharpie. Otherwise, I would have been had it done. But there's something I wanted y'all to see. Y'all know how I am. You know I'm a sentimentalist, and you know how I get about my little keepsakes and things.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
I found it under my seat in our car after we saw the movie the second time.
That's wild.
I gotta get my Sharpie because I just want to write "Thanks, Zoe" and post it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if people think all of this stuff is a lie, then you don't want to believe the truth.
Exactly. That's essentially what I was saying before. With all the evidence, all the witnesses, all the people who have been and continue to speak out about this stuff, like even what I showed y'all tonight and what I've been showing y'all, if you can see the truth and still don't want to believe it's because you don't want to. And I guess I could kind of understand how people may not want to believe that some of their favorite artists, musicians, actors, actresses who they have looked up to and supported are fucking demons in disguise. And again, she is a warrior. I don't care what nobody says. She's a spiritual warrior. And my channel, there will never be any Jaguar bashing. If you come into any of my lives in the chat talking that shit, I immediately delete your comment and ban you. That's also why I want to be a moderator for her YouTube. Because so many of them come in there. And a lot of times, you know, she'll respond. I'm like, don't even give them energy. The best way to starve a hater or people who are being controlled by the low vibration energy of hate is to starve them of your energy. Literally pay them dust. That's what Scorpios do. We do. It's like, you're not even worth my energy, bruh. So I'm just not even going to give it to you.
Choosing to willingly be ignorant.
Right.
And for Zoe to execute that, I've been waiting for us to talk about it because I know we had said we wanted to go through it in a little more detail because people can't keep ignoring this is the real life.
Right.
This is the real world. All of these terrible things you don't want to acknowledge. This is reality. They fooled you into believing that it's not. It is. There's no way she imagined that stuff up in a script.
Right.
She talked to somebody who was on Epstein Island. That's clear. Even some of the dimensions of the rooms, the eating quarters, and very similar. And the fact that whatever was on that island was weaponized. People weaponize nature all the time, don't they?
Yep.
Right.
And the only thing that could cure it was a snake bite.
Do you think the trigger warning in the beginning of the movie was very appropriate?
I think it was very appropriate, and I think it still wasn't warning enough.
Right.
Because it got real when they started coming out of it and remembering what had been done to them.
And that right there is the absolute truth. She said it got real when they started remembering what happened to them. With Diddy's his freak offs, the people who have been coming forward, they've talked about the flashes in and out. And if you've ever been drugged, unfortunately, and date raped as I have, that's very real. When that happened to me, I was on a date with a guy that I had met a few months back at this club in Kansas City. And, you know, we talked for a while before I let him take me out on a date. He took me out on one date, then he took me out on another date. And the second date, we went to dinner. I think we went to a movie and then like went to this little bar lounge. And he was buying all these shots and all these drinks. And I was at the table. And see, I wasn't aware back then to always watch the people that are pouring your drinks. I wasn't aware. And I remember him bringing like 2 trays of shots and we were just getting fucked up. And the next thing I know, I was blacking out. I remember when I went to go stand up, I fell. And I was completely embarrassed because I'm like, now I've been drunk before, but I've never felt like this. Like it was like I couldn't get my legs to work. Like my brain wasn't transmitting to my legs to walk. And he literally damn near had to carry me out of that place. And then we ended up at a Waffle House. I remember that because I remember us being at this club lounge and then I blacked out. And the next thing I know, we were at a Waffle House and he said he had to sober me up. And then I don't even remember eating, but I remember hardly being able to walk again. And then the next time I woke up, he was on top of me. Unprotected as well, on top of me. And I remember I kept blacking out. I kept opening my eyes and everything would go black. And I would open my eyes and everything would go black. It's a horrible experience to go through when someone drugs you and then does things to you and then later says that you consented to it when you actually didn't. So I can only imagine what these girls went through on Epstein Island and at the Diddler's house and with Harvey Weinstein and with that John the God person. I can only imagine, and allegedly even with Jay-Z, I can only imagine based off my own experience and from what has been said, the women that have been trafficked and even unfortunately the children, they went through sustained, repeated essay. And I'm tired of abbreviating shit because, you know, I know I'm working to get monetized, but this needs to be raw and uncensored. They went through repeated sexual abuse to appease these elites and the dark energies that they worship and bow down to. And shout out to Real Life Productions on YouTube. This is the platform that I found this video.
And it just made me think about that post. I got to pull that post up. From right before I left Philadelphia, right before I moved to Louisiana, there was a Made in America, which of course, you know, was a Jay-Z Rock Nation event held in Philly, not in New York. I wonder why. I wonder why Jay-Z spends more time giving money to and doing business in Philadelphia than he does in his own hometown. It's weird. Anyway, it was at a Rock Nation event, and a Rock Nation employee was running around passing some stuff out. He told everybody it was Molly, but it wasn't Molly because it meant that it literally.
That part of the audio cutting out is actually on her end. Yeah, and like she said, they were told that they were passing out Molly, but it wasn't Molly, meaning it was more than likely something cut with ketamine and GHB in solid form.
Wiped their short-term memory for anywhere from 15 to...
And I showed y'all before, and I'm gonna pull it up again, how she said it wiped their short-term memory. Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. Oh, okay. So that was a distraction on Microsoft. I told y'all before, GHB, which I'm about to show y'all right now. GHB and ketamine causes amnesia. Okay. Yeah. First thing you see is date rape drug. Forget pill, forget me pill. It's a central nervous system depressant that is commonly referred to as a club drug or date rape drug. GHB is abused by teens and young adults at bars, parties, clubs, and raves, which explains the guy that did it to me. We were at a bar lounge. So either he had that shit on him or the bartender did, or both. It's often placed in alcoholic beverages, which I told y'all he gave me a bunch of shots and a bunch of drinks. Euphoria, increased sex drive, and tranquility are reported positive effects of GHB abuse. Negative effects may include sweating, loss of consciousness, nausea, hallucinations, amnesia, and coma, among other side effects. So now we understand why P. Diddy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube, so that he could wipe their memories, make them think that they're crazy if they come back to and they start remembering what he did to them. That's also why he would be pumping their bodies with fluids and IVs to push the drug out. So that way, again, there's no evidence that he drugged them. And two, the hallucinations, amnesia, and loss of consciousness, so that they can think that they're crazy and what happened to them didn't happen. That's crazy. So it also says it was used in treatment of narcolepsy, a sleep disorder. Let's see. GHB is a naturally occurring metabolite of the inhibitory neurotransmitter gamma amino butyric, I hope that's the right way to say it, acid, GABA, found in the brain. The naturally occurring metabolite GHB is present in much lower concentrations in the brain than those found when the drug is abused. As a result of fermentation, natural GHB may also be found in small but insignificant quantities in some beers and wines. Wow. Now that I never saw until this very moment. As a result of fermentation, natural GHB may also be found in small but insignificant quantities in some beers and wines. And I remember when I was living back home, there was a brewery. I cannot remember the name of the restaurant, but I went to go work for them for like 2 weeks, and they showed us the brewing process for beers. And it does make sense that natural GHB may occur, because that's why they call, alcohol spirits. It inhibits and it affects your dopamine and serotonin levels. That's why people who abuse alcohol end up super depressed the next morning or the next day, because there's no more heightened serotonin once, you're coming down. Let's see. GHB is an odorless, colorless drug that may be combined with alcohol and given to unsuspecting victims prior to sexual assaults. It may have a soapy or salty taste. So if you drink an alcoholic beverage that tastes soapy or salty, more than likely it's been compromised with GHB. Use for sexual assault has resulted in GHB being known as the date rape drug. Victims become incapacitated due to the sedative effects of GHB, and they are unable to resist sexual assault. GHB may also induce amnesia in its victim. Common user groups include high school and college students and rave party attendees who use GHB for its intoxicating effects. Now, this is interesting where it says GHB is bought on the streets or over the internet in liquid form or as a white powdered material for illicit use. And, you know, they've talked about that, what is it, Tunchi, or that pink powder that Young Miami and them were advertising and putting out there. So yeah, they probably, I guarantee you, they were mixing that shit with cocaine. Because they said a lot of people at these Diddy parties were doing lines. Hell, Jaguar said that shit herself. And it might even be on, it's either this video or the other one that I'm showing y'all, where she talked about when she would be in certain environments, when they would push her breakfast tray through the door or whatever, it would have all types of drugs, cocaine, weed, everything. And she's like, I always just took the weed and sent the rest back. So even the drug dealer that gave an account of his experiences while delivering to Diddy's house said that he was surprised at all, you know, the drug use that was going on. He was surprised at all the men on men sexual behavior that was openly being done. And again, if this lowers your inhibitions and your ability to fight people off, you can literally be getting raped. And because you're not fighting them, they're going to say it was consensual. That's why on the earlier article that I showed y'all, Diddy was like, well, no, all of my activity was consensual. It's not consensual when you drug people and make them powerless to defend themselves. It's ridiculous. It says it is taken orally and is frequently combined with alcohol. Much of the GHB found on the streets or over the internet is produced in illegal labs. GHB may be adulterated with unknown contaminants that may worsen its toxicity. The production of GHB usually involves the use of, is that I don't know, lye, or is that lye? I can't tell if that's an L or an I. I want to say it's lye. It involves the use of lye, or drain cleaner. So that's definitely lye. Lye or drain cleaner mixed with GBL, a chemical cousin of GHB, and an industrial solvent often used to strip floors. Damn. So y'all mixing shit that strips floors, and that's a cleaning solution to drug people just so that you can assault them, which is insanity. And then so that gives you a little history on GHB. And for those that may want to research this themselves, let's go ahead and put this in the comments. So that way you can look it up yourself. And then let's take a look at ketamine, which Jonathan Hay talked about. Diddy calling him during the pandemic when everything got shut down and telling him, you know, you gotta try ketamine. You gotta make sure that you produce music that attracts ketamine. Now we know why. Actually, I want to go to this one. Okay, ketamine is used as an anesthetic for surgery, a treatment for depression, and is a drug of abuse. Ketamine is FDA approved as an anesthetic to put you to sleep for surgery and to help prevent pain and discomfort. Ketamine for depression is an off-label use, and it is used for depression, and its use for depression is currently being researched in clinical trials. It is also a drug of abuse that is used illegally, recreationally, for its hallucinogenic properties, and is known to be a date rape drug as it causes short-term memory loss. So now we understand why he was on the phone telling Jonathan Hay during the pandemic, when people are already depressed and in a low vibrational state. It's all about ketamine. That's what the kids are doing now. Ketamine. The kids, how would you know what the kids are doing? Mr. 50-plus-year-old nigga. And you're telling Jonathan Hay, who's a producer, to create music that attracts ketamine so that it can be used for the purpose of date raping and for its hallucinogenic properties that causes short-term memory loss. Yeah, okay. Ketamine is not an opioid narcotic. It is an NMDA receptor antagonist, which means it blocks the N-methyl D aspartate neurotransmitter in the brain. When used for anesthesia, ketamine is given as an IV or as intramuscular injection IM. S-ketamine is used to treat depression. Good Lord, my tongue is getting all tied up. And it is one of the forms of racemic ketamine and was FDA approved in 2019 for specific types of depression. Spravato is a nasal spray that is used under strict medical supervision and is not used by patients at home. Ketamine is FDA approved as a general anesthetic to be used as the sole anesthetic agent for diagnostic and surgical procedures that do not require skeletal muscle relaxation. It is also to induce anesthesia prior to the administration of other general anesthetic agents and as a supplement to other anesthetic agents. Ketamine is not FDA approved for depression. It is used off-label for this condition. So yeah, it causes amnesia. It causes short-term memory loss. So yeah, again, Diddy, it's like you're incriminating yourself. It's like you were the dumbest predator I have ever heard of. Seriously.
30 minutes at a time.
Wait, let's run that back.
Employee was running around passing some stuff out. He told everybody it was Molly, but it wasn't Molly, because it literally wiped their short-term memory for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes at a time.
It literally wiped their short-term memory for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes at a time. It sounds a lot like GHB and ketamine mixed together. If it wiped their short-term memory, it definitely had ketamine in it, for real, for sure.
Those girls had been assaulted and couldn't even remember it, because by the time the assault was over and the guy walked off of them, their memory was gone.
See, I love how she broke this down. She said those girls had been assaulted and had no memory of it because they were drugged with a drug that causes short-term memory loss so that you don't remember it, so that you do think you're crazy, so that you will be in denial about it. Oh, that didn't happen. I don't remember it. I don't remember the majority of the night that I had with the guy that I was dating that date raped me. But what I do remember is blacking out, coming to, and I kept blacking out. And I remember putting my hands up and I was like, no, because I didn't want to have sex with him. And he knew it. Like I had told him that, like, we had been talking, we had seen each other a few times, but I wasn't just finna just, jump and just give you my pussy. I wasn't finna do that, which is why he decided to put that shit in my drinks. And I did remember waking up and him being on top of me unprotected. And I was mostly pissed off about that. Because see, rape doesn't always have to be a, super brutal experience. Rape is simply you not consenting to a person to engage in sex with you. And so because they know they cannot engage in sex with you, they drug you so that they can force the sex anyhow. That's what date raping is. And the fact that happened to me, yeah, I feel for these girls. And right now I send healing to every one of these victims that happened to, because it's the worst experience in the world for you to have told a person you don't want to do something. And so because you don't want to comply or you don't want to do what they want, they in turn drug you to make you in a position where you can't fight. You can't fight for yourself. You can't fight them off. And whatever they do to you, they just fucking do to you. It's the worst damn feeling in the world.
I sat there in the emergency room watching that girl talk to the same doctor over and over again and not recognizing him after she had just talked to him 15, 20 minutes before.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to find that post, because that was a Jay-Z event and 200 girls were given that poison.
Damn. See, the first time I watched this, I didn't hear that part. She said that was a Jay-Z event. And 200 girls were given that shit. That's crazy. That's why I said Diddy ain't Jay-Z is up next. And quiet as it's kept, they're saying that allegedly Beyonce is divorcing him. Like everyone's trying to distance themselves from these predators because shit's hitting the fan. If you participated, were involved, knew and did nothing, you're an accomplice and you're gonna go down with them too. Jay-Z's definitely coming up next to be arrested and investigated, and I hope they get him quickly and swiftly.
And 20 of them had been assaulted.
Wow.
I couldn't even remember it. This shit is not a game. The boogeyman is out there. The ghouls and goblins are real.
So in the film, and I know, we'll dig deeper, but in the film, and spoiler alert for anyone who has not seen the film,
oh well, we've given you enough time to go see it.
So the perfume was what was making the women forget.
Oh, and real quick, I want to touch on that because that's what Jonathan Hayes said too. He said that basically, like, it wasn't just the baby oil and lube. It was even perfume that was being sprayed on women, that was given to women as gifts at the party, and even bottles of champagne and alcohol that they had stuck syringes into with the drug. That way, no one could actually see them adding it, to the individual drinks. They just added it to the whole bottle. Diabolical as fuck.
On the island. But they were also sending the perfume with the guests who were visiting the island
into the real
to take
world.
Into the real world.
Yep.
You saw the look on his face when she remembered him?
Like
that so-called psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
And even Gina Davis's character, which I guess was his sister.
Mm-hmm.
All of the abuse that she wanted to forget. Remember, she kept saying, forgetting is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting is the gift. Like, I forgot some of my traumas that happened. And I'm going to tell you something right now. It was not a gift. It was a curse, because when that shit came back, it kicked like a fucking mule.
Exactly. That's what makes it the worst. Because, not going to lie to you, I suppressed what happened to me as a child until, how old was I? I was 20. Was I 23? Yeah. I was 23 when the flashbacks started coming back, and the smell of her, the things that were done to me, they come back as like flashbacks. And like she said, forgetting's not a blessing. Denial's not a blessing. Suppressing's not a blessing. Because when it all comes back around, you have to deal with what happened to you. You have to acknowledge it. And it's up to you to choose to either heal from it or pretend it didn't happen, which is never healthy. It's never good. But a lot of people choose denial as their coping mechanism. That didn't happen to me. Therefore, I don't have to live in this pain or this trauma. And like I said before, you can't heal what you're hiding.
Remembering the things you tricked yourself into forgetting.
Right.
Imagine if you didn't trick yourself. Imagine if somebody just sprayed something nice on you and made you docile and complacent. Made you do whatever they wanted you to do. And then at the end of it, they hit you with a little more sweet spray, and it's like it never happened.
Yep.
Like, do you remember when she first got there and the lipstick tube with the hair and all of that? Because clearly it was a part of one of the assaults, and she threw it in the trash and said, better what is it? Better luck next time, bitch. Like on some, yeah, bitch, I made it and you didn't make it back. Like she didn't realize it was hers.
And some are, some are upset. There are a lot of women on the internet that are angry with Zoe Kravitz in the way that she ended the movie, as far as Frida marrying him and taking over his fortune and so on and so forth, asking the question, why would she want to be around the person who assaulted her? Why would she want to be in the midst of these men who are a part of her assault and her trauma? And a lot of people aren't getting it. What are your thoughts on the ending and her
It was the
mood?
smartest thing she could have did. She was right. Who was gonna believe their story?
Right.
And more importantly, like Channing Tatum's character in the film said, all he has to do is make a statement. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm stepping away from my company for a while. I'm seeking help. I've gotten therapy. I'm turning over to God my life, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so disgusted with myself. I'm sorry. Like, she was right. But if she took control, they could never hurt her again. I totally get it. Why hasn't nobody asked me why I haven't filed my suit against Jay-Z? I got one. I got a sure enough cold motherfucking case on him. I'm not trying anybody's material witness. If I'm a material witness, guess what? I'm in their hands. That's why I do things the way that I do things, to give me the freedom to be able to do it the way I need to do it. See, I've been saying the same thing about Diddy recently. Like, I would love to interview him about his life from child, young child to the age of 15. I don't want to know about anything else other than that, because I want to know how was Diddy made?
Exactly. And I really feel like this is what I feel as an empath and just as an observer. I feel that it was his mother essaying him, and then him seeing his father as this thug and this pimp. That's where he gets his super dark side from. But that video footage that he put out of his mom with the white fingernails, like what Cassie described in her case, and the mom looking at him like he was her dude, and then proceeding to tell him to kiss her on the lips, which he did during his own recording. I absolutely blame the mom for him being how he is today. She's responsible. Another thing I noticed is that in all of his pictures, she's standing right by him. And the way she stands by him, in my opinion, looks like that of a lover, not a mother. It looks like the look on her face is the same look I saw on Young Miami's face. Like, yeah, this is my dude. Not supposed to be your son. It's ridiculous.
Usually when you're a victim, the thing you're looking for the most is power.
Say it again. When you're a victim?
Hey, you're Jonathan.
She said, usually when you're a victim, the thing you're looking for the most is power.
Hey, being duct tape on the floor.
Right. And Jonathan Hay gave his own account, not just the interview he did with Jaguar, but even outside of that. He gave his own account of after he started working with Drake's baby mom, and he initially, had things to say about Jay-Z's inappropriate connection to Rihanna, that was when he got followed, pistol whipped, and wrapped in duct tape, him and his daughter. And they raided his house and almost unalived him. And he worked directly with Rihanna's team as her publicist. And he also worked intimately closely with Jay-Z. He even talked about the times that they went on tour and went on the road, and Jay-Z always had a very masculine transgender woman with him. He said, and we could tell that this person had not fully transitioned, that it still was indeed, you know, a man, kind of like in drag, essentially.
In your home. Your Jaguar Wright being rescued
right
from a trunk of a car. Power. And usually the more victimized you are, the more power you thirst for. I totally understand it. And the truth is, the women that are upset are the women who have never been in that position.
Right. Absolutely. Women who have never been in that position are the ones that don't really believe it.
I am a woman who has my own set of traumas that I've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't surprised, especially, you know, once you get to the actual scene where she kind of remembers everything and you kind of see them go through the abuse of what has happened to each girl. And, you know, you start to kind of understand what exactly is going on. And I personally love the ending. She said it, and, you know, we've seen it twice, right? Because the first time you're not going to get it.
Like any woman knows that it's over and over and over again with the same people.
To me, it was triumphant.
It was very triumphant because what she did do successfully is make sure that her abuser, who had repeatedly re-victimized her over and over and over again with the same people in the same, like, she took control. But see, a lot of women, especially here in the United States, our minds aren't really set for control. We can be very controlling, but we don't understand the power that comes with true control. Like any woman knows that if you have a man that's cheating on you, there's a few reasons why. It's either because that's just his character, he's lacking something at home, or maybe there's a part of himself that he likes to keep hidden that he doesn't like to share with anyone else. You know, I know plenty of straight guys who like some weird, kinky shit. And they lie about it all the time. Because they don't want anybody to judge them for what they into. But if they got that one person, you know, like if you got yourself like a young Miami, you can be yourself with.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and I think that a lot of women claim, I want to be in control, but don't quite know how to even yield control, because control isn't always telling someone how to go, or being the boss. Control, a lot of times, is very psychological in the way that she was controlling him psychologically at the end. And I think that a lot of women do lack that knowledge in what control is and how to truly yield it.
I mean, but we live in a country and in a society where self-control, though it is expected, it's not revered. Don't nobody go viral no more unless they doing something crazy.
Right.
Right.
How often do people go viral for something good? See, once a behavior gets rewarded, people are just going to keep up that behavior too.
Exactly. And that's exactly why on these certain shows like Love and Hip Hop and shit like that, when people are positively rewarded for negative behavior, they will continue to do the negative behavior. And unfortunately, Diddy was most definitely positively rewarded for the dark behaviors that he was doing because of all the celebrity support that he had. And he really felt he was above the law until now.
To keep being rewarded. And for stalkers and, SA predators, for them getting away with it, that's their reward.
Right.
So the more they do it, the more rewarding it is when they get away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The more they get away with it, the more they are being rewarded for what they did, because no one's holding them accountable. No one's saying, hey, this was wrong. You need to be held accountable. They in turn just get record deals, financial support, exposure. It's really sick.
Way with it, see? She made the smartest choice in the world. It's just a shame that women are forced to make those kind of choices. Heed the warning. Yellow for warning. Heed the warning. Get you some control. Yeah. That movie's dope as shit. But for me, knowing that it was Lenny Kravitz who tried to rescue Aaliyah Dana Harton before she was put on that plane unconscious.
Now it even brings to light, because I remember seeing that after Aaliyah, in my opinion, was unalived intentionally on that plane crash, there was footage that got leaked of them carrying her unconscious body onto the plane. And there's several pictures of Aaliyah with the Diddler and his crew. And now that we have explored GHB and ketamine, it would make perfect sense that she potentially was drugged with those substances, because again, they cause amnesia. Ketamine is a sedative. I mean, I feel like she definitely was set up, and she definitely had to have been drugged, because she didn't walk on the plane ever. She was carried.
I think it's kind of amazing that his daughter, this is her first film.
I could see a part two.
More girls. Oh, I could see a trilogy. Honestly, because that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know what a great part two would be? The girl that worked with her, the Spanish girl, the survivor girl, up to the end. What happened to her after she made it off the island? Right. What kind of control did she find? I'd like to see that.
Right.
What do you think, Angel?
Yeah, and I think that maybe, and I don't know Zoe like that. Hey, Zoe. But I think that it was purposeful that we don't know what happened with her. I think that was very purposeful.
Glad we
because she
don't
played
know.
such a significant role.
A very significant role. But I love the fact that there's an open door, because the truth is, it would be great if she could turn this into a survivors almost like anthology. You know what I mean? Because there were different people that were affected, and I'm sure all of that same group of girls wasn't always there together at the same time. There were other women.
And I think another scene that was very, very, very important and very meticulous and very thought out was the scene that once Sarah and Frida, they are the two women who finally come to the realization that they remember. The two other women are still, and they're at that dinner table, and they are having to pretend like they are not afraid, pretend like they don't know. They have to seduce. They have to maintain composure. And I think that that is a lot of women on a regular basis, having to pretend they're not scared, having to pretend that they are okay, having to pretend like they're interested, or putting on a show for their safety, for their livelihood. I mean, there was a whole thing that I did on the internet, and it was about whether or not when someone approaches you, you give them your phone number when a man approaches you. And it was a thing where women were saying, I give them, I have a Google number that I have just to give to people when they approach, because men are so crazy sometimes.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I have a Google Voice number too, just because people do be crazy and can stalk and track your location based off like your actual phone number. I know that from a past relationship, actually 2 past relationships where that happened.
Sometimes that they I mean, it's on the internet. There are videos of men hitting women, shooting women, killing women because they were turned down. So the idea of this dinner where they're so scared, having to pretend is so serious. It's intense. That I think out of all the scenes, that's the most intense scene in the movie.
Yeah.
You want to know what the most thrilling scene was for me? When they all woke up. And looking at how terrified those men were for being looked at accurately. See, they were used to being looked at through the haze of the drug inducement that made them forget.
Right.
But once the veil had lifted, did you see the terror on their faces when those women came?
Oh, yeah.
They were terrified. And I wish more victims were able to see their abusers in that light. Because see, in that light, you know what I mean? It's different.
There's a weakness
there. The second that you know, it's huge weakness. But that's why they did it in the first place, because they were weak. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, everybody needs to go see the movie Blink Twice.
I think mothers need to go see this with their daughters.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Mothers need to go see this movie with their daughters so that when the daughter becomes a teenager and wants to be all fast-assed and, be in environments that aren't good for her, she understands the potential dangers when you align yourself with certain people, energy, and environments.
I think they both need to sit down and get an accurate picture of what the world is looking like today, so they know how to protect each other and love each other. A lot of mothers don't want to believe when their daughters come to them and tell them that the boogeyman has visited.
See, and that's the thing right there. Jag's energy of a good way to protect your daughter is take her to see this movie, not Oprah's continued outward support for the predators and talking about how good they can make you feel. See the difference in the energies between the 2 women? She's not advocating for molesters and feeling sympathy for them. She's advocating for the women who have been victimized in trying to bring to light and bring to, expose basically how these things can happen. That's a preventative measure to, use her platform. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing because I need to end this live because my sleep aid has kicked in and I am feeling it. The next slide, we'll talk about her uncensored truth. It's titled, Did He Believe Me Now? But she's absolutely right. Thank you so much for tuning in, your mama. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But no, she's absolutely right. The best way to stop this shit is by exposing it, bringing awareness to it, and teaching the next generation what to look out for. I hate that the things that happen to me, but it does put me in a position to give that knowledge, like to my nieces and nephews, to give that knowledge to the next generation so that they can know what to look for and what to avoid and the things to not do and the things to do, so that if you end up in a situation, you know how to defend yourself, you know the steps you need to take to, you know, get justice. So again, shout out to Queen Jaguar, Jaguar Wright. Shout out to her mod squad. Thank you all for tuning in, especially her mod members. I really do appreciate y'all. And I just want to send prayers and love to Jaguar right now, and sending healing energy and abundance and divine protection and strength, because people and low vibrational energies, they're going to come for her, me, and everybody else who speaks out against this shit, simply because they are a part of it. You know, they don't want their disgusting behavior to be exposed, but it has to be in order for it to stop, because none of these victims deserved it. None of them did. You know, the women that have been on my lives that have talked about it, you didn't deserve it. Jaguar didn't deserve it. All those victims, all these hundreds and thousands of victims of the diddler and allegedly Jay-Z and Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and the one guy that called himself John the God, and all these, there's so many others who have not even been exposed yet. That's the other thing. There's so many more predators who have not been exposed, who have not been discovered, who have not been held accountable. So I pray that every single predator, God pulls the cover off, and that they are exposed for who they really are. And for every victim who has had to suffer at the hands of an abuser, I send all of you healing. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Like I said, sorry about the first live. That whole Instagram crap just, you know, crashed and ruined it. But I'm thankful for those that did come back. And I'm sending nothing but love and healing to Marcy, that joined my live earlier, and healing to all, healing to those who didn't have the courage to speak on or comment on their experience, who may have watched this live and you unfortunately had to endure or deal with sexual abuse of any level. I send healing to all of you. For those who have not, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And shout out to my DzPeepz. I appreciate you all. And if anyone would like to bless my channel, my cash tag is across the screen below. If you would like to send a blessing, I send that back to you 100,000 fold. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned. I more than likely will come back with another live. I mean, it's almost 4 o'clock, so I'll just say later tonight, but later this evening. Now, whether or not I'm going to be on camera, it depends on how I physically feel when I wake up. But I thank you all for your consistency. I thank you all for your energy. And again, shout out to Jaguar Wright and her fiance. I'm sending you both love and prayers and just prosperity, and keep doing what you're doing, Queen, because you are helping so many people. And when those trolls come for you, like I said, just starve them of your energy, or like Kendrick Lamar said, tell them shut the fuck up. All right. So with that being said, y'all have blessed dreams, and we will meet again.